We'll start this meeting. If everybody please stand. Flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item up on our agenda is Brian Fleck.
Okay. So we're back, these out.
I'm sorry. Do we do open comments or anything?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead and sit down here, Brian.
Mr. Wakeman being here, not on the agenda, was maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody has any comments right now is the time
I do.
to speak. I'm sorry.
This,
Sorry.
for each of you, is to let you know that we at the Visitors Commission intend to
I got you.
subsidize some
Exactly.
billboards. We're trying to encourage more local Scott County businesses to advertise, bring more people into the community, so we're prepared to pay half of the cost of a billboard for 12 months, plus a $400 allotment for the whatever artwork might be required to actually create the billboard. This is an informational piece. It's not the absolute last edition, but we would certainly appreciate any comments that you might care to make. That's it.
Thank you.
It's actually really nice. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you very much, Chris. All right. Does anybody else have anything? No? Okay. Good crew. All right, Brian.
So these are, let me see, I can explain a little bit more, but this is the final draft of the ADA transition plan. Okay, so if you'll, here I'll read from page 9 of that plan. At the April 16th Commissioners meeting, we presented the draft ADA transition plan update, including self-evaluation. At that time, the draft document became public record. In addition, Scott County advertised a notice of availability of ADA self-evaluation and transition plan on April 23rd, 2025, notifying the public that the draft document would be available for a 2-week public review and comment period between April 24th, 2025 and May 8th, 2025. So then this is really the only part that I changed in here from the draft plan that I had last time, besides the date on the front, that no public comments or suggestions were received to be reviewed and considered by Scott County for incorporation into the ADA transition plan. So then the next step is at the May 21, 2025 Scott County Commissioners meeting, the consultant presented the final ADA transition plan update, including self-evaluation. And I took the liberty of adding on here, hopefully this is the case, and the commissioners approved and adopted it. So that's basically what we're here for tonight. You guys are good with it. We've got I think Jennifer has a ordinance that we compiled for you all to sign. And then if you do move forward with approval and adoption of it, then a copy of this document will need to be placed at the Scott County Courthouse with the ADA coordinator, which is Jennifer, and also has been placed on the Scott County website, where we maintain on file and available for public inspection for 3 years from the date of adoption. And then also what we'll do is once that's incorporated onto the website, we'll send it to NDOT then as well, and then any kind of follow-up that we need with that. So like I say, really the only thing I changed from the last time I was here was the date on the front page, and took out the highlights in this section and changed that comment there about, no public comments. So I think that's pretty much about all I have here, unless anyone has any questions or anything.
Eric, you got anything?
I know.
Oh, I read what you said.
Yeah.
You did, okay, good.
Do you have anything?
No, I'll make a motion to approve and adopt.
I'll second.
All right. Greg seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous.
You guys are passing this on one meeting, 2 readings?
We are.
I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we're good.
All right. So, do we need to do a yay and nay right now?
No, just want to make sure that we don't have to come back for another meeting. Normally,
Do
ordinances.
you need to read that ordinance?
No.
No, okay.
All right.
And then the ordinance needs to be kept with the 88 plan that was submitted with it, so.
And the ordinance number is 2025R-4.
Yep, and that would be publicly available for anybody that wants to get copies.
And-
Posted with the plan on the website, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Brian. I know this
Sure.
is a lot to take in, and we appreciate you sticking with us. and getting it done.
Good. Do you want me to take it or do you want to take it? So you have the original?
Yeah, I'll scan it if you don't care, and I'll send it to you. Is it okay? I'll get that to you tonight.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Do you need the whole plan again or just the ordinance?
just the ordinance,
Okay.
yeah, I've got that, it's into electronic, so if you want to just put that on the website and just let me know when it's all up or whatever.
Okay.
And then on
We'll
the
have that
site.
done tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Good.
So,
right, thank
and
you
so
very
the big
much.
things we talked about is that you'll get these uploaded to NDOT and
Yeah.
the right folks there, so you
Yeah.
do know who it goes to.
Do you want me to include all of you when I send that to NDOT or just Jennifer?
At least Jennifer, she's
Okay.
You
the,
want to send it,
Yeah, you
I
can-
can forward it.
since she is our ADA coordinator, looks like, so
Okay.
thank you for being that, so.
That's okay.
If you wouldn't mind, maybe Kevin Hall also.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, oh well, yeah, Kevin and Jennifer on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good point, okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mrs. Hollins.
And Lindsay, she's coming with.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi.
I didn't have your name.
Oh, you're fine. I'll forgive you.
Thank you.
I know what
I
this is.
attached one, I got it, thank you.
So we're back requesting money for, IRACs for state fiscal year, 26. And we are requesting $89,363.50. I've put the budget in that second page. And we're, Mental Health of America provides 70% of the funding, and then we are supposed to get 30% from our community. So I'm requesting 25% from you all as the county commissioners. And then I'm already on the agenda for Austin City Council for June 10th to request, I broke it down 2.5%, and then I'm gonna go in front of Scottsburg City Council and request that other 2.5%. Obviously, I'm asking for it out of the opioid settlement funds. I think we've all been over the abatement strategies 1,000 times, but I still put them in here and highlighted like where we fit into that. I also attached our scope of work from our state fiscal year 25, so you guys can kind of see what's expected of us from Mental Health of America. And then their, what we bill out a month, and then their 70% that comes into us. And then Lindsay put together we've been sending those reports every couple of months. We send to Randy and to JR, but she compiled from July 15th when we actually launched in there until April 30th, and that's what the numbers that are on the back of your, in the back. And then she just kind of did a little narrative so you guys would know what we've been doing for the last 10 months. Yeah, is that 10 months? Mhm. Okay.
And I've prepared a resolution for the use of abatement funds. I've attached all the documentation that IRAX has provided, including the submission paperwork to the county with the amount requested. And I spoke with Kelly briefly, and if I say anything incorrectly, let me know. But my understanding is that you would not need to necessarily, we don't need to appropriate funds and essentially expend those funds. There's a specific date this year when that occurs, when
Yeah, so we just need a commitment, unlike you, a commitment that you guys will put in that 25%, before our next grant, before our next state fiscal year 26 starts. So even if you did it, and when Zach and I talked the other day, even if you gave like a little bit now, a little bit when more comes in, or 1, 2, 3 payments or whatever, just sometime over the year of 2026 for that money to come in, and that you guys approve that, if that makes sense. So the $89,000 that I'm asking for, like, it doesn't all have to come right now. Like, if you guys vote and say that you will commit to over that amount of time, that you guys would pay that out
We
and
can do it in
whatever.
installments.
Yeah.
So you say fiscal year 26?
So state year.
Yeah,
So,
so
you know, they
July.
run July 1st to June 30th. So it's July 1st will be our 26 for IRAX.
So that's when you're needing that payment in 26?
But I don't need it all, like, if you guys wanna give a little bit
We can give an
now.
installment in 26?
Or if you wait until, cause I think I've listened to some of your guys' commission meetings, another payment, opioid settlement funds comes in September, October, around the fall time. So like, if you give some now, have me come back then, or a vote to approve it, I don't know, however you guys want to do that, but just,
I think that theoretically, what you would probably do in this circumstance is make the commitment by a resolution tonight, if you felt like that was something that you wanted to do. Then Kelly could go, it has to go to the council for appropriations, after this, no matter what. I think we just put something, you know, in the meeting minutes explaining that, it might be necessary for council at their discretion to make determinations about when those payments would come out. So essentially, you guys are obligating or promising on behalf of the county, and the county council will determine when those payments are made, as long as they're within the timeframes that allow you all to participate in the grant program. The IRX program works in the county jail,
correct.
works in transition housing, I think, after people, well, not transition housing, but
yeah,
getting
re-entry.
out of the jail, re-entry into the community.
Yeah.
And you all partner with, are you in the Scott County, like, there's some kind of partnership program?
We are a recovery community, or certified recovery community organization. So we have our team appears through IRAX that goes and works specifically in the jail, but then we have a community-based team. So as they transition out of the jail,
Cease.
Cease,
Is there
yes.
something that's a part of, you guys
Yeah.
are all part of the Scott
well,
County?
yes, we are.
Okay, I just,
We are all like housed together. We're kind of so blended in together, but we work, two different agencies, but we work
Hand in
really
hand.
close together, yeah.
Yeah. Referrals, stuff,
Yeah.
working together, to make sure everyone's taken care of.
yeah.
Well, for myself, we're kind of in a holding, I am in a holding pattern, because we're trying to get the church fixed up over here. And that will directly affect you guys on IRAX, because it's going to give you some place that the sheriff's department can take prisoners over to, for you guys to have a place to work in. Until we get those quotes back and we find out where we're at on money, I can't promise anything, because I don't know what I'm promising. And then after that church is done, or we know how much we're going to spend, I'm fine with whatever we
Where
have
are
left
we on the quotes?
to deal out. I'm sorry?
Where are we on the quotes?
We're waiting on, what's the date? Bill Midday?
High day?
High Day. He's looking at it now. Matter of fact, he looked at it today, and they're gonna give us another quote. And that's our second quote.
It's just a timing issue. I mean, we're committed to help.
What's the deadline for, like, the commitment that you need?
I mean, they usually like to know before we roll into. But both of our directors, we call them the Shanes, the director and the deputy director will be at the office tomorrow. So I can ask them, like, the deadline.
Would you think it'd be July 1st?
There's talks that they might be extending our contract up for 2025 to go through, September.
September,
So we might be fine until September. We just found that out Monday.
Here, I don't wanna have happen, right, is that we lose out on state grant funding, cause this is just a local match. I mean,
Yeah.
it says in the grant work, it's not like a match, but it looks like it. So, I don't wanna lose out on the grant programming because we have a lot of other systems in the county that work with IRACs, so, I just wanna make sure that we keep this on track to have some kind of vote on it. Again, I understand the issue with the waiting to get, bids for the building over there. But again, we can space some of these payments out in such a way that we don't have to obligate immediately the totality of the funds that are being requested. And I believe that we have 400 something
It's
thousand.
right around 500.
About 500,000
450, yeah,
opioid
450
funds.
With 100,000
remaining.
coming.
500 in restricted or unrestricted?
Restricted.
Together?
Restricted. This would be a restricted, this would be a
Yeah, but I'm
purely
just having
restricted
500.
and qualifying, as restricted. I mean, they meet, I don't know, like half of the criteria that's in the opioid abatement strategies that's been put out by the Attorney General's office. So my suggestion would be, if you do want to wait, we make sure that we put this on a specific agenda date. That's before July 1st at a minimum. I mean,
We shouldn't have quotes back before next meeting, theoretically.
theoretically, I just want to clarify a couple things related to quoting. It's fine to do quotes, and I think we've always, tried to get, or estimates, trying to get estimates of what the bill will be in order to comply with other public works projects requirements. But it would be my suggestion that based on, I think some of the estimates that have come in, you probably need to do a full design build plan that is closed bid. And do that the same way that we've done other large public works projects in the county. I think that we're gonna be in excess of $250,000. So I think that we need to do closed bidding, not just, and quoting is good, it helps us determine, is this gonna be in excess of some threshold number where we need to operate under a different purchasing or public works strategy, but I believe that in this circumstance, you're gonna exceed $250,000 in
Probably.
that circumstance.
Yeah, I like that
From a
process a
design
little bit,
build
yeah.
situation, I would say that you, at this point, you need to address setting up a, closed bid structure and time. If you wanna do that right now, you have a limited amount of time to get that done. It has to be advertised for 2 weeks. The entire, build, design, criteria, open and available. And then we'll have to schedule a meeting to address that. So you'd be cutting it very close to July 1st.
Well, then let's do it. If we have to do it tonight, let's,
Yeah, I mean, I think we can commit, we've got enough funding, so, and we can space these payments out, so it's not a big deal. I don't think we need to wait. I think we can go ahead and commit something tonight and again in October or shortly after.
all right, so what's the minimum we can commit to that you need?
I think you need to commit to the way it works. You would need to commit to the
Full
full
amount.
amount tonight. The full amount does not need to be paid at any one time or any specific time, as long as it's paid during the state fiscal 26 year.
And then when I go to the council if you guys pass that, then let them decide, like,
Mhm.
um,
How much money?
yeah, how much in money.
And I think we can communicate some of the,
Well, I mean, we had Cease, we was gonna give Cease money too.
Cease already got
We've
yeah, we
already
gave,
paid
we
that.
gave Cease money.
138.
I thought we waited.
No,
No,
that's been
they've been
done.
paid.
That was
Okay,
gone
all
back
right.
3 months ago, I think, 2 or 3 months ago.
Two.
I'll make a motion to pay, contribute the
89,000.
request of, $89,363.50. That's your ass, right?
We need a resolution number on that.
It's 4.
Okay.
And I know we just said 4, that was ordinance 4 that we just did, and this will be resolution 4.
Do we need to also put in there stipulations like to revisit payment strategies or payment times, anything like that, or just a commitment to?
I think you can amend the resolution that exists and say, approved as amended with the added language, council shall, at their discretion and when appropriate, appropriate funds sufficient and up to, but not exceeding the amount.
Yeah, then I'll second that. That way we just have a plan for it.
And we have 500,000,
No, it's about 450,
we have 450
about 450 right now.
With another distribution in October.
October,
in
November.
October, okay.
They don't give you a.
I mean, September, October, I'm sorry.
That time
We-
frame.
we
So
don't-
that, and we've got flexibility
Right,
with
right, but I just,
fiscal year 26.
so we got a first by Greg, we got a second by Adam, and I'll make that unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Be in touch.
Thank you.
Mr. Nick Owen.
Didn't know what that was. Thank you.
Up top is the snapshot of April and May, where our revenue's been. It's been a couple months since I've been here. Our year-to-date, you can see we've reached $1 million at the end of last month. Cash ledger balance is there. It's currently sitting at the 1.08, but that's because our deposit from April still hasn't fully hit yet. It's in transaction, so it'll be, hopefully by the end of next week, it'll be there, but we've already received it. It just has to be posted. So that puts us at about 1.3 as far as holding in our account once that hits. If you have any questions about the finances, I'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah, good.
Nope, you're doing a good job.
Three main reasons I'm here. First one is, about a month and a half ago, we discussed the whole Furno thing. I know, I wanted to put that off, and I'm kind of glad we did. I guess, I initially requested that we go ahead and look at 3 of them, to purchase 3 of them for the frontline trucks. My request tonight, if you so are inclined, would be to purchase just 1 for the new truck that I've got coming, hopefully by the end of next week, that we can put in that truck. Just due to, how do I say this? I don't know what my financial commitment will be next year, and I don't want to overextend my comfortability. So I would, instead of adding on potential payments for next year without knowing where my financial obligation as far as percentage-wise of the service is gonna be, I don't wanna add anything more right now, so I would just like to pay this in full and be done, if you're so inclined.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I have the money, it's been appropriated, it's not an ask, and it,
Yeah.
you know, it's coming out of our ledger, or our fund rather. The total cost on 1 it's 2 or 3. The total cost on one is $76,452.90. We advertised for $235. And the cost for 3 is $229,358.70. I'd rather not do the 3. I would rather just buy the one to get the one truck we have coming outfitted. I've been in some conversation with the other company that we currently have, of getting those lined out and fixed, and they've been actively working on fixing them, but I wouldn't say 100% satisfaction is there yet. So we still need one to put in a new truck that we've got coming, and that would be what I would be requesting.
So my only question is, you did sealed bids on this, right?
Yes,
And there was only one responsive bidder, from my recollection.
correct.
So what you're asking is to reject all bids and agree to purchase one
Instead of
at a total cost of,
$76,452.90.
okay. And you've reached out to multiple entities to obtain whether or not they would agree to quote that amount,
Correct,
and they've not done so.
correct.
Okay, so I think you gotta do it in parts. I think you have to, based on the director's representation, you gotta reject all bids. Then you're in the $70,000 range, which is less than $150,000, which is what is required for sealed bidding. But you're in the quoting range, and you've indicated you have contacted other providers that work in that area. You were only able to obtain one responsive bidder. So I think under the special purchasing methods, you are able to approve of that, but you need to do it in 2 parts.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll make a motion for Nick to.
I'll second.
I'll make that unanimous. Mark, you got anything else?
Have you heard any news on the truck, Nick?
Hopefully that's kind of on my second thing. Right now, we're slated for either next Friday or the following Monday, which I hope not, because it's payroll day, so I'll have to push it to Tuesday. So we have to, every time we buy a truck, we have to go up for an inspection, just to make, I mean, it's a big purchase, so they want us to put our eyes on it. My second thing on here was to be able to travel. I'm not going on a state, so it doesn't require the travel form. But just as a information for you, that we'll have to go up there. Usually Austin and I go, which is kind of the guy who kind of manages the fleet stuff, and we just kind of go up there. We go over it, we do a functionality test, it's like a 3 to 5 hour ordeal of going through the truck, check payment and drivability, and it's a whole process.
Motion to
But
reject all bids, and then a motion.
just wanted to kind of put that on your guys' radar, that shouldn't be any more than 3 days, and the only reason I say that is if there is an issue, as long as it's something that they can fix there, they usually do it, they start it immediately, and they can have a 1-day turnaround. Usually this is just a 2-day thing, we drive up there 1 day, do the visit, go the inspection, and drive back that night. I just wanted to let you know there might be another day in there if we do find anything that we have to stay up there. Like I said, it's not out of state, it is in Indy, it's up in Elkhart. So, from my understanding, I don't have to do a travel form because it's not out of state. It's just more of a, hey, this is what we've got to do to accept this truck. Barring that, they stay on their timeline, it's supposed to be done next week sometime.
Sounds good.
I need a motion to reject all bids.
Make a motion to reject all bids.
Second.
Start over.
I'll make that unanimous. All right, and then now I need a motion to accept this.
And again, this would be under a special purchasing method when only one responsible and responsive offeror is located.
I make a motion for the $76,452.90 for the Furno purchase.
I'll second that.
I'll make that unanimous.
last thing that I was here to request, or I guess I talked to Zach last week, and then I talked to Jennifer, and so I currently have one person full-time, but they are out for reasons until minimum of November. I have another person that is scheduled for something that will be out a minimum of 12 weeks. And then come September, I will also have another person that will be out for reasons for a minimum of 12 weeks. Unfortunately, these are all full-time employees, and the one that I'm dealing with right now started in February and was only supposed to be till May, and here we are. And that's extending through a minimum of October, November timeframe. So I was here to they said they needed something in the minutes, was that their verbiage?
It'll be something in the minutes to approve if you want to go beyond FMLA
If
and
I-
do it unpaid.
And not just that, is for me to look at taking some part-time people to put them in a part-time, full-time role so I can stop destroying my overtime for my full-time staff picking up that schedule. And still, the main thing is having some consistency so the people that do the scheduling there aren't constantly scrounging and thrashing to find coverage, that we can have some consistency of just getting these spots filled. You know, if this was a 2 or 3 week thing, we'll deal with the scatteredness, and you know, I've picked up truck shifts, Caitlin's picked up truck shifts, like we've done what we've had to do. But where we're gonna start compounding and we're gonna start doubling up and at some point tripling up on these, I was just, I need some consistency in that. I've got people who are willing to work the hours, but I've had to balance that 36 hour over the 6 week whole thing. And you know, when we work 24-hour shifts, it's really easy to hit that hour mark real quick. So I guess, I don't know what verbiage I need to use here. I guess I'm requesting or advising or hoping that I can
This is
move.
Wagner, Irwin, and Shealy.
Yeah, they just said there needs to be something in the minutes that I either have the ability or you're under the understanding, I think it's the verbiage they use, that I need, want, whatever adjective you want to put there, get some consistency in this schedule and stop, you know, workhorsing my full-time staff to, you know, start filling up holes when I've got people that are willing to pick up the hours. It just could potentially move them into a full-time role for that 6 weeks or that 10 weeks or the 3-month period that we're gonna have, but, you know, it's not, these aren't part-time people that are going out, these are my full-time staff that, you know, have to have things done or have had things done to them that they have to take care of, and we're obviously not gonna hinder that, but, you know, we've dealt with the one hole, it's been rough, but there's no way we're gonna manage 2 and 3 holes compounding on each other without some consistency of people that are willing to pick up those holes.
What does that do? I'm sorry. What does it do for benefits? Part-time going in full-time temporarily, is there an exemption?
I don't think that it actually requires benefits the way Wagner, Irwin, and Shealy approved the plan.
Okay,
I think you can choose to offer them to them for that point, but it's not a requirement because they'd still be, I think, for us listed at part-time.
Yeah, so
it's just they would be.
The way part-time and full-time works is that in order to be considered full-time, you must be consistently working above a certain amount of hours. This is a temporary placement, and again, the HR firm has reviewed the plan and approved it, said it complies with, you know, Fair Labor Standards Act, and any corollary requirement that the county would have. Again, there are times when part-time employees in the county, regardless of whether or not you approve this, work above what we normally would consider an expected full-time rate, but again, it's consistent.
yeah. And that's what, make sure the time or the threshold, whatever.
Yeah, and
I'm good with it.
and you know, the people, my employees have kind of said, hey, we know you're hurting, we're trying to help, and I'm just trying to say, hey, I've got to look at your hours, that I don't mind working you 48 this week, but I got to do 24 this week so these things can balance out. And it's just getting tiring because when I can't work them that 48, I've got a full timer picking up, or I'm picking up, or Caleb's, whoever's picking up to fill those holes, and I just,
Again, my understanding is Nick, you're basically just giving Nick the discretion
Yeah.
to make
Temporary changes.
temporary personnel changes in positioning that I don't even believe necessarily would obligate one particular person to, over the course of time, work
Yeah.
more hours than they would be normally. It's just we're
Yeah.
managing and moving people around.
My big thing with that was not for like benefits and whatnot, but what if they were injured, make sure they were covered. Like working full time, they're gonna be out there more on the field and anything could happen type thing. So just wanted to make sure that they were covered in that.
Yeah, and I didn't know the guidance there from what Wagner,
Yeah, I didn't.
So I'll,
you do as you need to do.
and that's just my thing is like I said, we've been managing with one, and it hasn't been easy the last 2.5 months, but going through November and then adding people between now and November, there's
Yeah.
no way we can keep up at this rate.
You can't go to a temp agency.
And yeah, that's the thing is,
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Not in your world, you can't do that, so.
all right, well, I'll accept the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'll accept, I'll make a motion to let Nick make personnel changes for the time being.
So
Yeah, I'll
temporary
second.
personnel changes.
Yeah, second.
All right, then I'll make that unanimous.
Anything else you got for us, follow up or anything?
Appreciate you stopping by, and it's been a hard couple weeks for us, just on some stuff, so appreciate that.
Your team's been through a lot the last 2 weeks, and
Not been fun.
I know, yeah, greatly appreciate y'all. If y'all ever need anything, please feel free to reach out.
Appreciate it. Anything from you guys?
Good job, Nick.
You know,
Thank you, Nick.
Yes, sir.
did you get your door closed
No, it doesn't even go into next week.
to next week?
See you, Bob.
Amazon's all over that, ain't they? All right. I'd like to amend the agenda to, bring up the veterans appointment, set a time for an executive session on, going over our, new, can't think of the word I'm looking for. New
Prospective applicants.
applicants.
I make a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll second.
All right. I'll make that unanimous. So I believe we got them all in.
Yes, we do.
Today's the 21st. When would you guys be available to have an executive session to start the interview process again?
I'm free the 27th and 28th. Well, I'm free pretty much all that week. Or next week, 26th through the 30th.
You're free
Pretty much all evening.
through next week?
Yeah.
All next week?
Let's see.
Any of that work good for you?
Tuesday and Wednesday of next week doesn't work for me.
Okay. Is there one of the days left that works
Thursday.
best for you?
Thursday works better for me.
Thursday does?
What's this room number? You want to do them in here?
Yes,
What's the room number?
128.
So, Adam, are you all right with the 29th?
Yes, sir.
Thursday the 29th? Okay. So, can we set a executive?
Zach, are you good with that?
I'll
Oh,
say
that's right,
unless
that's right.
I've never participated in.
That's right.
Employee interviewing, if
Let's-
you want me to be
Yeah,
there,
that's
I
Do
don't.
5 o'clock. You don't have to.
Tim and Ron?
I think as early as we can.
Ron and Tom,
How many
Yeah.
applicants do we have?
I think there were 7. I
Seven.
sent those to you. I think
Yeah,
you should
6 or 7, yeah.
I think there were
What's the date
7.
you all are choosing?
7 more new ones? Or
Well-
this including the old opens?
No, it didn't. It included the original 2.
So, okay. So we're only interviewing 5 new people?
No, it'd be 7 new people.
They all had the requirements. What I saw going through it, they all had DD 214, honorable discharge and all that.
Thursday, May 29th, 2025 at 5 PM in the Scott County Government Building, Commissioner's Room. Is that,
At least we need to start by 5.
I would, yeah.
do you wanna do her? I'm asking. Sorry, I keep
I
saying.
mean, I
things.
can-
Go.
I can,
You wanna do 5:30?
no,
Oh, you wanna do earlier?
I mean, I could be here at 4:30. maybe.
We're interviewing
If
7
my
people.
phone will
Yeah, we're
load up.
gonna, or there's 7 people if they'll answer the phone and come in. I mean, last time we had, I think, 5.
And only like 2 backed out or 2 didn't answer or something.
2 didn't schedule, and then we called some off, so.
Yeah, because they weren't qualified. Yeah.
So,
Because in this position, you have to have an honorable 214 or a
Okay.
discharge from the
Hold on.
military. Yeah.
So in total, we've had 9 people.
Yes.
2 at the original interviewing that you interviewed the first time,
And then 7 more.
and then there's 7 more applied since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So potentially, we're looking at interviewing 7 people that
Yes.
night. So I'm
I mean,
in
I could be
agreement with
here
you. We
even
need
at
to,
4, if
4 works for me.
huh?
4
4.
PM.
That,
4 PM.
are you all right with 4?
Oh, yeah. Earlier is better for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move to Thursday, the 29th at 4 PM. And while we're on that subject, I'd like to introduce 2 people tonight that'd like to have, make a statement. So this is Ms. Donna Lafferty and her husband Larry. Either way, wherever you guys feel comfortable with. Larry, if you don't, you can sit where you're at if you don't feel like walking.
That's all right, I'll make it. Just rough anymore.
Thank you.
Even if you're working on an old car, you know, if you don't take care of stuff as it comes up, it just builds up.
Yeah. Got the check engine light coming on, don't you?
Yeah, check engine.
What we have is we got a veteran here that needs transportation. And I've been talking about this for almost 2 years, I think. Mike Jones was in office when I spoke about it last. The rules are, Mr. Lafferty is a DAV. We're trying to get him reevaluated so he can get his percentage raised. He cannot hear unless I'm right here or I have to scream at him. That's becoming a problem when we're in public. People think I'm being mean.
Not only that, you know, when you're in a meeting or something, like when I was sitting back there, I could hear you guys talking, I couldn't tell what you're saying. You know, and that's not good.
But that's not the
I don't
only,
want to sit there like this, you know.
Yeah.
that's not the only issue. Denise felt like Larry needed to be reevaluated on several points. He's having issues with his left leg. Now, I have taken him, had tests through our family physician. He has what they call a Baker's cyst, supposedly.
And it's as big as my hand.
We started out
On
a
the back of
week
my
ago. It was this big when we seen the physician. Now it's,
Massive. It just,
they say that it's caused from a prior injury, which he had in the service. So, we're wanting to get him transported to VA in Zorn. Now I know the first question is gonna be, why can't you do it? Well, it is what, 30-some miles from here, right, Adam?
Yes, ma'am.
I have dislocated this one, have a torn rotor cuff in this one, and you couldn't pay me enough money to drive in Louisville.
Especially zone area. Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a son, but he travels with his job, so he's not available to do it. We have a sticky situation.
We don't have enough.
Denise
We
has,
can't get everybody organized. Yeah, first thing we gotta do is make the appointment. Yeah, we've done that twice under Denise.
The CMP appointments for reevaluation?
Yes,
Okay.
and what happened
Didn't
was
they
her
check
driver
on
didn't show up to pick him up. He sat out on the porch and at the time was a cancer patient, didn't feel good anyway. He was out there at 7 a.m. waiting for a driver that didn't show up. And no offense to none of you, that pissed me off.
I'm saying, cause it's hard to get CMP appointments.
Right, and they frown on you when you don't show up. So what do? Because he missed the appointment, nope, we can't help you. We ruled that you didn't have time to show up.
Yeah.
You know how that works, you're a
Yes,
veteran yourself.
Yes, ma'am, and I've been.
They don't like
that.
Times, yeah.
So,
They don't make excuses.
you know, I'm kind of frustrated
Yes, ma'am.
because my veteran needs attention that he ain't getting. Disappointed. Disappointed in the county because, and I moved out of Scottsburg, to be honest with you. I think he could get more assistance than he is. And he's getting worse because he's not,
You still live in Scott County.
yes, still in the county, just not in the
Yeah,
city.
I just wanted to clarify it for
So
everybody.
it makes it a little bit, and the reason I stated that is it makes it a little bit more difficult for me because we moved further away, 5 months. I moved to Austin. And so it makes it a little bit more difficult to, he's a little hard to get in and out of the vehicle. I got rid of my Ford before because he was literally falling out when he was trying to get out, you know. So, it's rough on him, and we both had a pretty tough row.
Yeah.
Um,
Bad year.
I've seen him through two bouts of cancer, 2 different types. Denise has also advised me that she thinks that a reevaluation would be good for that because he worked with ammo dumps.
Yep.
Or
Burn pits and everything
Yep.
else. Oh, I know all about that.
They
So-
run blow up when they blow your door in.
She's wanting him to.
Sometimes just walking will set the stuff off.
Now, with that being said, I took him to his appointment at this clinic here in town.
Yes, ma'am.
Talked to a social worker. She said Mr. Lafferty is not eligible, quote unquote, for transportation because of his 20% rating. Now, with that being said, me being stubborn, I went home and immediately contacted DAV. She was either misinformed or incorrect or both because the young man that spoke to me said that is incorrect information. Mr. Lafferty's problem is service connected. He's rated at 20%, and I'm all about. He said, I think you need to move forward.
Yeah. Have we gotten the SUV back from the shop yet?
I do not know,
I
but
think-
I will say that we have set money aside.
$10 an hour?
It was no, it was $17 an
Oh,
hour,
okay.
I think, right?
It was never been appropriated.
But the council has never appropriated it, and Denise did not do a great job at selling it either during the meeting. When she went forward in front of the council and asked for that position, which we kind of insisted that she does do that. She asked for a raise for herself. So it's a position that we commissioners have already agreed to. And it's got to get back through council again.
Well, see, in order for Larry to get this done and get his percentage rate raised, he has to speak to the Veterans Affairs officer to get the appointment set up with the, and so that's
That was gonna be my
another
next
reason
question.
I'm here. I want the process to, let's go. Let's get somebody hired so we can represent our veterans in the way they should be represented. That's just how I feel about it, because my veterans suffer.
We've been told that, the van or whatever that you guys are planning on fixing up or getting running, would not have enough people using it. But if you know anything about veterans at all, they run into resistance and it starts getting harder and harder.
They won't.
They just drop out and say, forget it.
They will not come forward and ask.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm gonna have to encourage our veterans to do, because they feel like once they're turned down on something, they won't fight for it. Because I'm hearing, and I don't know what Adam's hearing, but the veterans that I have spoken with, I'm hearing, no, we fought one battle, I'm done. I asked them, they said, no, I'm done. That's what I'm hearing.
And some of
A lot of
the,
people upset.
They feel like they shouldn't have to fight for something they've
Right.
already, or,
Yeah.
some of the veterans have went so far as becoming homeless.
Yeah.
And it's getting to be a problem. A lot of them are starting to commit
And thank
suicide.
God above,
It's
we
bad.
were blessed with,
I've lost a few friends, a few battle buddies to cancer or
His
homelessness,
brother.
suicide.
Mhm.
So this is what I will say. When we get, or I think we got a part-time guy out there now, Tom, I forget his name.
Tom.
Tom.
That should be trained up enough. I think first cab guy, he should be all right, even though he's first cab.
Is the
Uh,
creation,
He should be able to get you set up or start the process to get you next
we
one.
did, we created a position.
With the DAV vehicle, what I will say with it being out of commission, not
It
having
never
one,
went through the council.
you give me 48 hours notice when you need to go down. I will work with my job, do away with my office hours.
Yeah, we did.
I think that's required anyway with
Opioid
veterans
unrestricted,
as,
As
far
create
as-
the position, council has.
they have to know.
Yeah, you
that-
have to, yeah.
Well,
And so,
we.
yeah, they send you a text or they send you a letter or
Fund.
whatnot.
The thing of it is,
Right.
But
we have to get the appointment set,
Mhm.
then we have to get somebody to take me down.
And
I
see,
will-
that's what's not,
And if we don't coordinate all that together, this is my last shot. They only give you 3.
I will not let you, I will take you as a private citizen and my POV, or my privately owned vehicle for civilian. And, I will spend the day to make sure you get, if I have to go
I mean,
around.
that's quite a sacrifice to ask somebody to take you down there and spend all
and
day.
believe me,
Not
I'm
as a fellow
very,
veteran, as a
very picky
No,
about
we look out
who
for each
takes
other.
my veteran
Oh,
anyway.
if you were lying, then, yeah.
Yeah, you might think twice about it.
I've got a few kind of.
I don't know, my sister speaks highly about
Most
it.
veterans, believe it or not, have a common thread of camaraderie. We all served, we all got out,
A
and
brotherhood
we're a brotherhood, just like a motorcycle gang.
or firefighters.
Firefighter.
I'd rather you
Club.
use firefighters
Yeah,
as an example.
we made a back club, you know?
Ooh. But
Yes.
But on the serious side, there's a lot of them that never make it back. And they gave, it's like that one sticker I seen on a guy's car that said, all gave some gave all. And the
Well-
ones that gave all never get credit.
this one here, this is, there's several reasons. I've been married to this veteran 48 years. I've took very good care of him in that 48 years.
I'll vouch for that.
I'm strict, but that's okay. He gets over it. His brother he passed away last year.
He served 2 tours in Vietnam.
He would not fight for his benefits.
He was
My
highly
grandfather
decorated.
did it.
He had
So,
Bronze Star, Purple
his
Heart.
daughter and I got together and we fought for him and got his benefits. Well, he died of Agent Orange cancer. He- And she would have to, here's the problem, here's the point. His daughter lives in Tennessee. She's a career woman. She would drop her own business, drive all the way from Tennessee and take her dad to the VA in Louisville. I feel that shouldn't have been necessary. Shouldn't have been done.
And if we'd had a vehicle at our disposal and somebody to drive it, he might still be here today.
Mm,
But the cancer was on his neck, right here, right on the jugular. All the VA would do was shave it down with a laser.
Because they told him, it's too
And
far
then
advanced.
boil his blood, you know.
Well, they were afraid they'd cut that main artery and bleed out.
It looked like a second ear, just like this one.
But unfortunately, that's, that's another issue with us. I'm like, maybe if he'd got reassurance, transportation sooner, you can let that eat at your mind. But come on, let's face reality, that's what happened. Because his daughter couldn't always be canceled. She works for PepsiCo. She's big up on the ladder. She travels a lot, and she couldn't always do it. So there again, you had a veteran that's
And he wouldn't fight for his
he would not.
benefits at all.
She and I had to
It
do
took the
that.
whole family harping on him to get him to go to the VA. And I'm not that way. I mean, I'm hard-headed, but I ain't that hard-headed.
Matter of opinion, but okay.
I know when I'm lit.
Well, we're gonna start this process again on next Thursday with these interviews, and whoever comes in to run the program there, they're gonna be tasked with making sure that part of the program under their direction is up.
Well, and too, I'll also know that they're gonna have to start his process over, unfortunately. His medical records.
I've got him on this.
He's got them on this.
Got him from Denise.
So we're gonna have to start that process all over after 3 years.
Well, you can always file, notice of intent, and then it would backdate it to your previous stuff. So hopefully it'd be tied together for, if they increase your rate, could be potential back pay as well.
That would be nice.
Right, but I'm sure the new person coming in Tom, and everything gets you fixed up. I've helped a few people myself do it,
Well,
so.
there's a lot to the VA.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I noticed today, the notice on the front door. It says call the office to get an appointment.
ain't nobody there. Ain't
There wasn't nobody there. to
Yeah, they
answer.
changed the whole call log recently.
So
And
it'll
I've talked to
filter
somebody about that.
into someone,
Yeah,
it'll go to someone's voice message. Okay.
I spoke to an
Because I-
adjudicator or auditor that was coming through the system 2 weeks ago when I was there for my appointment, and I told them it was trash, and they agreed.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
because I was
it's
having
nice.
difficulties with that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There's one other thing. If we can get this up and rolling and working like it's supposed to, we need to be able to contact the veterans in this county. I know there's a couple thousand probably. And
well,
let
they're
them
not
know that
going.
this service is available.
Well, somehow make it public. We don't want to irritate them by contacting one-on-one, because a lot of them won't like that. And,
You know, maybe
You know that.
BFW
Yeah.
Club, American Legion or something.
yeah.
My grandfather never associated with any group or breakfast
No,
or get
he don't
together.
either.
Yeah, so,
So, see, there again, you have that issue.
yeah. And he told me if I ever joined the military, he'd whoop my butt, and so,
Well,
and that's what happened, so.
I tell you what I done. My
Well,
son,
somebody
he was
gotta do
ready
it,
to
yeah.
choke me. He went to sign up, and behind my back, I found out, and I went and talked to the recruiter, and that was the end of that part. I said, he's my only son.
Yeah.
Go ahead and fill out your paperwork, but you're wasting your time, because I'll have him out within 48 hours.
I was in Hawaii.
I said, shred it, because you're wasting your
And
time.
I was getting ready.
That was, he was livid with me.
I was at the finance section, you know, to clear post and get my last paycheck and all that stuff. This colonel pulls up there with a Jeep, and this boy gets out and they rush in there, and he rushes back out and left. I thought, what the hell is that all about? You know, so I asked him, one of the clerks in there, he's an only son, Congressman wants him off post at 4 o'clock. And he went through everything else, it took you and me 6 weeks to get done.
They were big on that back in the day. Yeah.
Yes.
I got to believe it.
Well, I want to tell you that me, myself, and I know we've had our conversations, but I'm just saying this now for people at home to hear, because the county, we was told when we purchased that it was a 50/50 grant on
Correct.
that vehicle. And that vehicle's mostly set. And it's been a very big thorn in my side.
Mine too.
That, you know,
You know how hard it is for me to
Taxes on
drive
both
by
sides.
there every day,
And see it, yeah.
see it sitting there, not being utilized, and my veterans suffering. I'm like, that don't sit well with me
yeah,
at all. And then you got all the others that I don't know about personally that need it and aren't getting it and won't ask because, like I said, they're not gonna beg for help.
Well, I feel
it's very doubtful you guys are the only ones that's happening.
Yeah, I feel if it's just used once a week, it's there for the veterans.
Yeah.
They need it. And you don't want to sit.
Well, just the fact that they know it's actually available to them will give them a lot more in their morale.
They'll get more use of it.
Don't you think, Adam?
Yeah.
It'll
It's a
boost
lifeline.
their morale to where we'll get more veterans coming forward and saying, hey, we need this.
Well,
And then we'll gradually, like anything else has to be done, we're going to gradually build up veterans that are going to use it. Because they're like, hey, wow, this
It's like
is
riding a
real.
park bus. If you know it's there, and can use it, it's a peace of mind.
Right,
All you gotta do is make an appointment, call and say, I need to ride down, you gotta pick him up. And
but they must understand that they have to give a 48-hour notice. You know,
But to me, it's like, you know, we paid half, the federal government paid half, and we took it under false pretenses because it's just set.
Yeah, nobody thought,
now the
That's
last,
aggravating.
nobody threw.
Well-
Well, they put all the stipulations on the driver.
Well, they did put some, but I mean, we
well,
walked
yes.
around that.
I was told that COVID was an issue, that the driver must be vaccinated. That was false. They do not have to be vaccinated. They have to inform their passenger that they have not been vaccinated, and if they feel comfortable or uncomfortable to wear a mask, they do not, as a driver, have to be COVID vaccinated.
I think they have to have a federal background check.
Yes.
Or a DA standard fingerprinted and all that.
Yes,
But
But the reason they don't have to be vaccinated is because they are not actually a government.
at that
employee.
time, they were not an employee, they were a
They were
volunteer.
volunteers.
Now, with that being said,
I don't
when we
know.
hire someone, they may
Require something different. Who knows?
you know, they may look at that again, but I don't think so.
Has
I-
somebody been hired?
No.
No.
No, and
that executive.
When Denise went to the council, to let them know that we had money set aside,
Uh-huh.
if the council would have approved it. And sensitive or not, I guess I gotta say it in order for you to understand. But she, at the same time, said she would rather have a raise than to have that position filled.
Okay. And I don't wanna get into that.
Which,
I'm just
I mean,
asking,
which the council just veered the
has
other direction.
has the county council authorized the creation of the position itself?
No,
Not at this point.
And they've not appropriated any funds?
no.
Okay.
so that's what I'm trying to get done.
You guys are more than welcome to go to their meetings. I would just, and advocate for whatever you feel. We don't have any authority to create the position.
Right. Only thing we can do is, yeah, which we did everything we could do.
I totally believe that that is legally correct.
So that while we're in the process of getting that together, I have a significant amount of PTO time built up. And if I need to do away with 1 office hour, 2 office hours, what I do on Fridays, y'all give me a 48-hour heads up. Need appointment. Until we get this figured out, I've got you, brother.
So we need
Appreciate
to
it.
talk to them, need to make a phone call and talk to Tom.
I don't know Tom's last name, I'm sorry.
No.
No. I haven't dealt with much with him besides seeing him in the interview, so.
Am not
I
familiar
apologize.
with him. Okay, and I'm assuming calling the numbers that's on the notice on the door.
What for? You have my number.
Yeah, I've got your number.
Yeah.
But I have to speak with Tom, and he literally has to set his
Yes,
appointment.
yes.
So,
And their CMP appointments are huge in your evaluation.
yeah, when you miss them, it ain't a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's a detriment.
And they
to your
don't-
Percentage, yeah,
Anybody that's been in the military, such as you,
yeah,
know they don't take excuses.
no. And a CMP provider can be a civilian, it can be a VA doc, and it just depends on, from my experience, the mood they're in that day.
Right.
How they help you. So, I will make sure, which I trust these guys will do it too, and make sure we get this handled.
Yeah, it's
It's
been,
been good to me.
and I don't,
We'll start with
And
that
like,
next
like
week.
you said, you can't miss another one.
No,
No, I
So,
can't miss
that's
one.
why I offer,
Let me know too,
yeah.
We will.
because I already told you that I would,
so
and
this here is.
if we
the-
both show up at your door, that's fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you flip the coin.
Well, I
It doesn't
feel like
matter.
if you both show
What
up,
matters
can
is you
both
get
go.
down there.
I feel like he's safe.
Yeah.
You know, Louisville ain't what it used to be, for one. And like I said,
They
I'm
changed
very
all them roads
protective.
down there, the exits and all that. I ain't got a clue how to get over there.
Well, when you almost lose your spouse to cancer, you'll understand why I'm so protective.
Okay.
Very. After 48 years of marriage.
And thank goodness I've been in remission on both of them for over 3 years.
Yes.
And that's a milestone.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
My doctor,
It's
when I seen him
Is
this
this the
last
number
time,
I
he
called
goes,
to get a hold of Tom?
he checked me
Is
out,
that
real
what
good,
you're-
checked my
Yes,
blood work,
yes, that's
everything,
it.
said, you're good to
Okay, and it'll
go.
go to
Usually
voicemail.
about 3 years, a lot of times it'll come back.
Okay.
You know,
If you
type
call
I had
there,
was very
you'll get a call
impressive.
back within 24 hours.
And,
yeah.
I'll-
He said, I'm gonna
Okay.
put you
I
down
will,
for
I will make sure
October
to go out there,
the
knock on the door, think, whatever.
1st, next year.
I stopped
Oh,
by
he's
there
confident
today
it's gonna stay
after
gone,
his
hopefully.
appointment at the clinic.
They gave me,
There
Sounds like
wasn't
it.
nobody
They
there,
gave me
so
a
I took
chemo
a picture of
treatment.
that, so I'd have the
there's 2
number.
big.
Because I knew I'd
boxes,
forget it 5 minutes after looking at it.
Yeah, I had someone send me a message, yesterday.
They can only give me
Stop by,
3
I'll-
cc's every 15 minutes. It took all day long.
Well,
And then on the other, I had 5 IVs in my hand. One was, platelets and stuff, you know, and
Oh,
one was antibiotics, and I forget what they are. But all I could do is just sit there, you know.
Yeah. My
And
dad died of cancer.
it was called, Red Devil 24. It was a brand new cancer treatment for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And they, when you get done, when you urinate, it's red.
Okay.
Don't get excited, don't get excited.
TMI.
It ain't blood.
But anyway, I'm glad we got to speak of this and,
Hey, thank you guys for coming.
well,
We appreciate
you
guys,
know,
appreciate your, all
I'm
that work
going
that you guys are
to
putting into this.
appear here
I know it's a lot of trouble.
almost every
There's a lot
time
of
until I
measures,
get
we really
something
appreciate it.
accomplished.
It's not no trouble.
we got you.
It's
I appreciate
not-
it, hold us accountable.
Because not only do I have a veteran, there's several others, and I'm gonna advocate for all of my veterans, not just my husband. You know, they need transportation, they should have it.
Well, we get to jump through the hoop first, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just round them up and they can just take a bus load and then they can.
Yeah, and then we can go to Culver.
But anyway,
Well,
appreciate
Let's
you
get
here.
back to county business.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
coming.
You bet.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
oh,
All right.
don't talk.
I'm not, it just takes me a minute to get going.
Be careful with that.
Do you need
table,
help?
it's a little wobbly.
Yeah, I see that.
Larry, does he need help? You need help?
No, I'm all right, thank you.
Okay. Be careful.
Should have brought my walking stick, but I didn't.
Mama's getting too, I can't. If he falls, he's down. I can't lift him, 'cause
I can't get back up either. Unless I crawl over to a chair or something, you know. it's pretty
Yeah.
bad.
take your time.
I am.
Y'all have a good night, thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
See you later.
Thanks, Randy. Thanks, guys.
All right, next item up on the agenda is county insurance policies.
You do realize that.
So in April, we passed the point where we could start opening it up to bid for another company, insurance company, without having to pay a added expense, I guess is. So
Penalty.
now's the cheapest time for us to start looking for another company. I know we've reached out to Shepherd Insurance, and they, I believe, they agreed to quote us insurance without making us sign the, what is it?
You're talking about the agent of record.
Right.
Yeah,
language. And so-
agent of
so
record.
I think what you're asking is, can we open up,
Bids.
requests for proposals to be the agent of record for the county?
Well, Shepherd has said that they would not make us sign a agent of record,
Okay.
which was strange because most insurance companies do.
Well, because the agent of record is the only agent that's able to, again, then go out and seek a policy on behalf of the county. I don't understand that, so I'd have.
It's
to-
like they have,
So, right.
we sign off on that and they're able, they have the leverage to go out and work with
So
those
is,
companies.
are we gonna open it up for bids? I've had 2 people in the last 2 weeks reach out to.
I would say request for proposals.
Yeah.
Because again, we're entering into a services agreement with an agent. I mean, that's what I'm understanding. We're not changing insurance.
No, just wanna see what the best.
We want to
price-
change,
Yeah.
you're talking about changing potential agent who then goes and secures various insurance policies that would then be submitted and bid to the county. And the county would accept, right, the one that makes the most sense. I mean,
That's,
am I saying that right? I
yes,
just wanna
that's
make
what
sure
it's,
we're all talking.
I think that's
Well,
what
I mean,
we're
I say
talking
that-
Because
about.
we're not talking about county insurance.
I kind of said
Policies.
hillbilly, but
Okay.
yes.
And this is for everything,
No, it's.
medical or
not
just?
medical.
Just liability.
Okay, all right.
And then- but
I wanted to
medical-
make sure the health and everything's
I
like people
think
been
we
reaching
have-
out.
Medical is something we are going to have to start addressing soon also.
Yeah.
That's
I've had, yeah, I
next.
sent an email asking for some information.
And I've got it, I just wanted to go through this meeting and see, I'll have it ready whenever we're released, that we can let that go.
Okay, cool.
So I think if that is the request, what I would suggest is that you open up, is that you develop a RFP to accept applications to become the county's agent of record for the purposes of obtaining insurance quotes.
Would you mind doing that?
All right.
I mean, well, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion to, I guess we need to vote on that.
Yeah, you would need to vote on that.
I know we're all in agreement, but we need to make it official.
Make a motion for, to seek out RFPs for change of agents or
Agent record.
agent of record, yeah.
I'll second.
And I'll make that unanimous.
And not a change, I mean, it could include our current,
Yeah.
everybody.
Absolutely.
Give
it's-
everyone a fighting chance, yeah.
All right. Next item up on the agenda is emergency closing of the courthouse.
Okay, just a question on that from last week when we had the gas leak. And I'm thinking, I need to go back and look at my text messages, see if I can see. I think that these people were out maybe 30 minutes or hair more at the end of the day. Do they need to use, I'm thinking it was closed, they were asked to evacuate. Will that fall under our emergency closing plan that we put in for snow days? The only thing that'd be different is it affected people in the courthouse.
How much time did they leave? An hour?
I don't think it was that long. I think, let me go back through
It was
my,
very late in the day.
It was.
I think it was around 4 o'clock that I got a text on that.
Within the 59 minute.
Well, I was notified, I think, around 3.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think about an hour and a half. They get out at 4:30, right?
That's your all's discretion.
I would say, my opinion on that is that it wasn't their fault. It was, something.
Well, we hope
broke.
so.
Well, yeah, well, we hope not, yeah. Everything sabotaged or whatnot.
I think it probably should.
I
but-
think it should, yeah.
Yeah. I think if you wanted to, you could authorize, for this specific instance, to use the policy previously adopted solely for, emergency closings and snow closures for this specific purpose.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with it because, I mean, the money's already there. It's already been appropriated for
Sure, it's-
everybody to be paid that day. It was
Well,
a
there's
regular
not-
working day.
unforeseen.
No overtime or
And
anything,
I
it's
think
just
it
make
just
sure
allows
that
them to,
Nobody's getting hurt by,
like,
I make a
Allow
motion to pay them under the
No, they don't
emergency
have to use their
policy.
PTO.
No.
they don't have to use it.
so.
That's the proposal.
Yeah, and if they were already off that day, then, yeah, it stays the same, but.
So Greg has a motion to let them
Okay.
be paid under emergency policy.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'll second that.
And Adam seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous.
Now, follow up on that, since it's kind of enclosed. Is there anything we need to do with, was it a busted boiler or?
It was the heat exchanger.
Yes, there we go.
Got a leak,
Okay,
and S&L came in, and I think they're in the process of finding another one.
okay.
So,
So that,
right now, the gas is shut off, because we don't need the gas.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
But overall, when it comes to boilers, S&L doesn't, it's not really, Scotty said, their thing, and usually they use another outfit called Dunlop. It's a bigger outfit. So, yeah, you're right, they have something in place there. I
Yeah,
guess.
Good, that's, just want to make sure everything's kosher.
All right. Next item is transfer station repairs. Well, we got did you get copied on the IDM notification?
I can check.
You sent to him?
I can send it to him, yeah.
Okay. So, about a month ago, and this is a story, so, not a story, but this is the story. About a month and a half ago, Adam, you was notified that
It's been a couple of months.
Yeah.
It was like right when I got in, like
Okay.
January, February, yeah.
we was notified by somebody.
Yep. I've talked to Jared Swain and one other person, I can't remember their name.
Okay.
But yeah, they called and said, hey, there's some issues, some stuff from last year we need to work on.
Yeah.
And they drove by, one satellite location said no one was there or something.
Right.
And so, and they said, hey, we'll send you the reports, and then let's work together to fix it, and that was the last I heard from them.
So they talked to somebody, made contact with somebody, and I've got to say somebody because I don't know who it was. IDM did in September and in February of last year. And so the issue was the sign does not say, in case of emergency, call 911. The new signs that we had put up. We didn't put that on. Now, that information is on another sign. But they wanted it on the new sign. Okay? So that's issue one.
Okay.
I had a discussion with Chad Pittman, and I'm going to say that was a month and a half, 2 months ago. And I, at the time, I told Chad that we are going to make a new sign because we were putting in scales. And I didn't want to put out a new sign until we get the new scales in, because the new sign will have a sliding thing on it so we can change prices without making new signs all the time, right? Because signs are $700+ a piece. So we got a notification about that. They're pushing that issue now. Another issue is, and this is ongoing, this is, since I've been in office, it's something they've been wanting us to do. It's just really been a hot topic, especially lately, that we put a cover over top of both dumpsters at nighttime, because it only rains at night, right? And so I do have a quote. That quote was from Thomas. For both of them, to fix both of them was $6,680. Now,
What kind of topper is that? Like, is that like metal or is that?
it's a
like
metal, and the reason okay, so to get the ones that stand up next to the hoppers, they're plastic, and the lids drop over,
Yeah.
but they're $12,000. All right. The reason I went with metal or in a quote was because it's metal roofing, right? And if they put it on top of something and poke a hole through it, we only have to replace one panel, which is a whole lot cheaper than replacing the whole top, right? So anyway, and I told him at the time that I understood that we needed this, and I'm looking into this. So that's another violation that has recently, even after our conversation, he's saying now we're in violation. And what was it, $2,500 every?
I did not read through it. I could not tell you.
I think it's
I
every.
looked at it, but not.
It could be a day, it could be a week. I can't remember now. So the other thing is, back in 2012, when a tornado went through, Adam, I don't guess you was here. There was a tornado went through the area, went through mostly Henryville. I'm sure you probably heard about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
My wife was here during that, yeah.
a lot of that debris got taken to the Scott County Transfer Station. So you remember coming out to the transfer station, I bet you out there, you remember all that wood?
Yep.
And that's what that's from.
Makes sense.
In that is fence, wooden fence. Here's the problem with the wooden fence. The wooden fence has got paint on it. So it's an IDM violation because the fence has paint on it. It also has metal roofing that's been wadded up that was alongside the road that the county highway boys at the time, they just loaded up the trucks. They was trying to get roads open and they put it all out there. Now, so it's got trash, it's got some little baby swimming pools, vinyl, so on and so forth, all in this thing. We've got to get that cleaned up.
Well, we just discovered it like 2 months ago, right, when we were digging it up.
It's been out there though.
It's
for
been
so
out
many
there all
years.
this
It's
time.
been
I just never
pushed
walked
around.
around
Okay,
it, and
alright.
I have not personally talked to IDM
Okay.
until this year.
Got it. Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I got to walking around it, and it's got vinyl in it and whatever. So I talked to them, and they said we can burn it, but to burn it at the transfer station, you have to dig a hole, and then you can burn it inside the hole, and then cover it all back up. Here's the problem. With the transfer station, used to be a landfill. When you dig down into that, you dig up trash.
Yeah, you sent me pictures of that.
Yeah. And that trash looks like it just went in there, and it's been underground for over 40 years. Oh, it does. Trash bags are still in whole pieces that still hold on to the claws of the excavator whenever it's not even ripping. So, anyway, I called Kevin Brown to have him just throw me out a quote. We can get other quotes, it doesn't matter. Last night, this all kind of quick. And I thought we was going to talk about last night, so I called Kevin Brown so I could get an immediate response. And Kevin said, $3,000 to $5,000 to take it all in 2 different dump trucks and get rid of it. So that's something we need to discuss. How much, that $2,500 fine?
So there is, I mean, there's been a notice of, there's a formal action that has been filed related to violations or purported violations at the transfer station.
When was this filed or initiated?
On, I believe that we were notified.
But that's the kicker. This has all come out after I had a conversation and walked him through everything, showing him what all we was gonna fix.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
addressed every bit of this.
Because the day I called you, several months ago, they said they were gonna email both of us that issue report from last year and then this year. I never received it, I don't know if you did, because it was like training, trash, or people not at the transfer, or the satellite locations and stuff like that. A lot of things, I'm like, hey, like send it to us, that way we can get busy on it. And I don't think I ever received it.
I didn't either, but it would, in conversation,
Yeah, yeah.
he told me.
Yeah.
I don't know what I could tell you about in terms of the date of filing of the action itself,
I
but
was just curious. Yeah.
we have received at least at a minimum a notice of qualified settlement offer that was received on 4/29 of 2025, or at least dated on 4/29 of 2025. I think that there's some kind of miscommunication because it got sent to an email that was inactive.
Yes.
And I think I received it on
'Cause
Monday.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I sent it to you when I
This
got it. I can go in here and look.
Past Monday.
But I know at one point in that body, it had your Randy Julian's name, but it had Mike Jones's email, so I don't know. And I didn't see who else was in there, but that was in the body
Yeah,
of the letter.
5/19, so this Monday. What I would tell you is that essentially they've already filed a law, like effectively like an administrative, action for violations. There are a series of notices of what they are saying the violations are, what the orders for correction shall include, and what the penalty shall be. And essentially it's an offer to resolve it with the conditions that you adhere to the requirements of the order, waive your right to administrative review through the administrative law judge and courts, and stipulate to certain penalties that shall be assessed in the future if you do not comply with the requirements in the order itself within the specified timeframes, which is 30 days from the date of the effective date of the order.
Yeah.
From the, completion of the order, or?
The effective date of the order, I need to look at what the effective date is.
Well, I'm gonna say this, I mean, since I've been on this board, we've been over backwards to stay in compliance with that out there. I mean, they could literally pull up and write something, over anything out there.
Yeah.
And we've been over backwards. I mean, I guess it's a sore spot for me because I took a lot of time updating our whole report that we had out there, that we kind of got in the similar situation then, Zach, that they were threatening us from back then, and we overcome that. And it's a constant challenge with IDEM, it seems like, out there. I know the covers that Randy's talking about, those have been brought up for some time, that those have to be taken care of.
The thing that I don't understand is I showed him a drawing of what I was having, what the plan was. I let him know that I have reached out to somebody to give us a quote and start getting quotes, and I let him know that we were addressing every bit of this. And now we're getting
I think the city had been through something similar too.
Yeah, they
not
just got
long
done
ago.
working on
So,
scale stuff too.
so I don't know if somebody's called somebody and has pushed something. I don't know.
No, the last time I talked to IDM was, they called me about the permitting for the scales. So we didn't need, but we needed to let them know, and that someone called and said that we were in violation because no one had talked to the permitting office.
Well,
can
yeah, but when I
how
called
would they
them,
get your number to call you?
They
That-
called me
that's
back in
funny
January,
to me.
February. Yeah,
I mean, they're calling you, but they're still emailing Mike.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I haven't talked to him in months, but my
doesn't
first call,
make
because I
sense.
called Randy right after, because I'm like, what is this? What is this report they're talking about?
Yeah,
And I
I
had
don't
no
know why
idea.
they would do that.
but I mean,
they wouldn't have your
and
contact
that
information.
flies under insignificant modification.
Yeah, the scale thing, yeah, that's what they told me. Yeah, we just need to let them know. Because Scottsburg got in trouble, the city, I think, for the same thing. When came
Well,
up
they
with
got
that.
into it with Scottsburg City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know, Greg, why they called him. I just pick up the phone.
I think that's part of the problem. There's,
Them talking to me?
no, I mean, you gotta have a single point of contact with all this stuff. I mean, we're sitting
Well-
here now trying to figure out,
Yeah.
Who knows what? and
Yeah,
when.
because that's why I asked for the report, so I could have all the documentation in front of me, and then like, hey, what has been addressed, what hasn't, and whatnot. But
I think what Greg is saying is
Oh, no.
the fact that they're not reaching out to one person.
And they should be
They're
reaching out to you as the president, yeah.
to whatever.
They're just willy-nilly.
So we have the right to request a settlement conference to discuss the allegations and actions necessary to correct and resolve the violations, which may include injunctive or the establishment of a compliance schedule. I guess at this point, what it sounds like is that maybe you guys need to authorize me to reach out to IDEM to request a settlement conference.
I'll make that motion.
you know how to do that, right? You've done
I
it
do.
before. That's what I say. I mean,
I know that,
we keep
President
going
Trump
through this
is
stuff
doing a
with
lot
them.
with
but-
the EPA and everything, so maybe you could reach out to the White House. And,
It's a state issue. I don't,
Yeah, do that.
and just have Dole take care of that for us.
All I need is y'all to authorize me, I will email,
yeah, by all
the
means.
compliance section and figure out what
I'll-
dates we can get for.
I'll make a motion for you to reach out to IDEM and advocate on the county's behalf.
You second
I'll
that?
second that.
And then I'll make that unanimous. Do you know, is there a date when they said that these fines are gonna start, and was that $2,500?
So it's 60 days after receipt of the notice of violation is when additional civil penalties may accrue, but, prior to that, there's like a reduction. Again, the only thing I have is this date of 4/29, at least is the date that it's allegedly executed and signed. I don't know if that means that the date that we received notice. I don't know. I mean, I know I received actual notice of it 2 days ago. I don't know what, in terms of constructive notice, they may try to say existed because I don't know if they mailed,
No, it was emailed.
okay? And it was emailed, I don't know when the original email went out, because the email that it went to, I believe, is no longer active.
I'm gonna say this, if you talk to them, they
Yeah.
will work with us.
We're-
They just
we're-
want to be acknowledged.
Regardless, even if we went back to the date that I have here, we're 22 days past
That.
the signature on here, so we're well
Because
within the
they-
60-day time frame. So I would say that we have, every right to contest, ask for a settlement conference, or enter into this agreed order at this time. If you want me to go ahead and just do the settlement conference to kind of clear up, right, the questions, concerns, try to figure out what's going on, I think that's probably the place to start.
I thank you.
I agree.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, meanwhile, in my opinion, we need to go ahead and start moving on some of these items. This is so we have something in good faith. Because I know, we know what some of them
What
like.
items? Moving on what items?
Out the transfer station.
Well,
We're-
I think what we should do at this point is contact IDEM and figure out what's going on. I don't think we should be initiating any further, like, work. I'm not saying we should do things to clean
Well,
up
we know that
Get a
areas.
submitted list from.
we have 2 items that we know for a fact that we're in violation of.
I would suggest that if there are existing and ongoing violations, I mean, the one that I can see is the signage issue that they seem to notate in there about, and my computer just died. So,
Well, what you missed because you was out. In 2012, when the tornado hit Henryville, all that debris that Scott County helped clean up, they put it in a pile back in 2012.
okay,
So there's an old fence that has paint on it. There's trash in that debris. Metal. IDM's been wanting us to clean it up forever. So that's one. The other thing is a over top our dumpsters, which is a violation. It's been a violation.
yeah,
They've been
that's
talking to us for
something that
years.
is notated in the letter. I don't necessarily have an issue, again, maybe with the tops on the things, because that addresses a concern that I think's been brought up multiple times, which is people attempting to use the facility outside the normal hours or when there's not people there and throwing stuff and it not getting where it's supposed to, and then we get in trouble for it. Like, we addressed that, I think, last year.
Well, that's a little different
Okay.
situation out there. They just want to make sure it's covered.
Okay.
This is particularly at the transfer station.
They call it leachate. So when water gets into the dumpster, they call it leachate. It comes out onto the pavement.
Well,
Anyway, in my opinion, we need to allow me to reach out and maybe get some quotes.
I think that's probably appropriate. Go ahead and, investigate the cost associated with the work necessary to comply. That's fine.
Yeah.
No issue with that.
We have to have
Thank you,
that.
because
Let's
that's where
not-
I was going.
I just don't wanna put boots on, at the facility and start doing stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
make sure we know
I gotta be
exactly what
honest
they
with you,
want.
if anybody's gonna put boots on it and do it, it would be me, and I am wore out and tired, and I ain't doing it anymore.
Yeah, the hopper has to be covered, so I mean, that has to be done.
Yeah.
I know that, I mean, they've reached out on that before, so.
The only reason, and just for clarification, the only reason I reached out to Thomas is because Thomas has a crew and can build it fast. It's below 6,000, it was 6,000 something, it's below the 10,000 mark. They're local.
So it says pursuant to 32 IAC 11-13.5-4, all solid waste processing facilities must have a sign at least 16 square feet in area identifying the following: the name of the facility, the type of the operation, the facility's IDEM permit number, the phone number of the person to be contacted in the event of an emergency. For facilities that grant access to the general public for the use of the facility, the sign must also be posted at each point of vehicular access from a public road, identify the time the facility is open to accept waste, and identify the schedule of fees. Do we have signs like that?
We have a sign, but it doesn't have everything on it.
That's
The
what
problem
Jason-
Probably
is-
go
Jason just had-
figuring out how to get those signs, what the cost of those signs are. I feel that's no issue.
What's the IC code on that, or regular?
It's an IAC, it's Indiana Administrative Code, so it's 3329 IAC 11-13.5-4.
So you understand whenever you're talking to who you're talking to. The reason we knew about the sign. We told him we was getting a new sign. The reason we have not put a sign in place is because we're putting in scales and we're redesigning a whole new sign because of the scales. It's going to have a sliding thing so you can change the prices on a rotational basis, whatever.
As long as it's a
prices
fee
we're
schedule
looking at.
that's displayed, by weight,
Yeah.
it doesn't say what type of fee schedule it's, but we have to have a fee schedule.
Yeah. Well, I want people to know when they go in how much per weight it's gonna cost them.
Well, I think that's a requirement.
Yeah,
Yeah, until then, and we put it on
Yeah.
make your own. We can
but
make
we're
our own
not, right
sign
now,
and
we're not gonna
paint it
scale
on
it
something.
much.
Until
So,
we get there.
Anyways.
Pretty good signs. They might be-
That's true, Kevin.
now, as far as the debris, talking about the wood and stuff that's been there since 2012 that they want us to get rid of.
It also, again,
We can
it
get
just seems
quotes.
to notate like incoming solid waste issues, like there's areas that are not clean.
That's part of it. So we have that debris that's been there since 2012. So what happens is, people come there at nighttime, and they're throwing them in that same pile.
Yeah.
And that same pile keeps getting bigger and bigger, because it's on the grounds.
Then
So
I do,
we gotta
I do
get
see
rid
the
of-
30-yard roll-off container
Covered.
cover.
Yeah.
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 So we can,
Again, I would just say at this point, go ahead, authorize, go ahead and start trying to receive, quotes for work, for the signs, that's fine. I will immediately get in contact with this person, but
okay. So as far as the timber, we can get quotes on getting that taken care of, or we can decide if we're gonna have the county highway deal with it. That's why
Deal with
we're
it in a
trying
way
to
of
get.
like digging a hole, burning it, or getting out of it.
Kevin he's got a big schedule, he's got a lot of work to do,
Yeah,
he does.
digging.
There's a lot of roads and stuff.
But again, and I've talked to Kevin, Kevin says, look, if you guys tell me to go out there and clean it up, I'll go out there and clean it up.
But I wanna go back to dig a hole where?
Uh-huh.
Where do you?
I don't wanna dig a hole.
Oh.
The problem, they're saying that, IDM's saying we can get a permit to burn it
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Cause I was worried about methane.
Okay.
Alright, but the problem is, if we burn it out there, we have to dig a hole.
Yeah,
Put
I don't
all
like the
this
dig a
in.
hole idea. We've already gone through what digging a hole is like.
Yeah.
I don't like the dig a hole idea.
No,
Just
That's-
my 2 cents.
right, if we wanna haul it out.
Right.
Here's their problem. Well, there's a good picture of that's some of the debris, just some of it. I put it all up into a pile with the dozer in order to get it away from the road so everybody would quit dumping it.
Do we have cameras out there to see the people coming across dumping?
We got cameras. And that's another thing we're gonna talk about tonight here. But, at our satellite places, we have cameras.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And if we close the satellites, then we can take those cameras and we put them out there. I'm sorry, Zach. Give me 1 second here. I take a lot of pictures, man.
Well, I don't necessarily need to.
No, I know. I want you to be informed because you're going to be talking to these people.
Sure, and you can certainly send me anything that you need me to know.
But, okay, so this used to be a landfill, Zach.
I
Um,
got that part.
and you go about 6 inches down and you're in trash.
Yeah.
So there's no us, there it is. There's no us
So your question is
grading a pit
okay, and
without doing that.
Item, to your knowledge, has said that you can do what with this aside from burning.
We
Haul it out.
can haul it out there.
And your question is, do you want the highway department to haul it out, or do you want to?
He's wanting to get some quotes.
Well, that's
to
what
haul.
I'm saying. I'm asking these guys right now. Do we want the highway department to do it for free? But it will push Kevin on time, no question. Or do we want to get quotes?
What I
Get
would
the
want.
quotes, and then we'll see what it costs.
Yeah, we'll get the quotes.
We
and
can.
then see what
I
Kevin's
just didn't know
workload
where we was at
Yeah.
with he just answered this.
Yeah, I would want to get everything that comes together to see what our best option is. And I know a lot of the guys from the highway's been out there on Fridays working with their off day, but they've been getting paid. And so just see what options we have, right?
I wanna
make
urge
sure
us
everything's-
to try to make a decision as soon as we can though,
Oh, 100%.
because our dump trucks are single axle dump trucks. We've got one tandem axle dump trucks.
Well, and
This is a lot of loads.
yeah, and I want to make sure Zach has the opportunity to get in there with them and see what exactly they want, so there's no discrepancies. If we were to move without Zach talking to them, they can come back and be like, hey, you didn't do this right or something. I want to make sure we have it locked down, what's expected of us. And then we can make a game plan for KLB or highway or whatnot, depending on the workload and the cost. Because with the agreement and everything that we talked about last night, we may be screwed even more with being able to pay someone else.
Yeah, I agree with that, and because
Well-
they're gonna find,
Yeah,
what I like what you said is get it nailed down. They're gonna find something every time they go out there. This is you guys, this is an ongoing thing. I mean, you're in compliance today, you're out of compliance tomorrow. It's just the nature of that out there.
It
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
separate
a
company.
dump.
Yeah,
So, yeah, lock it down and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and then get some prices
yeah.
on, and then we can weigh that out, I know
Yeah.
that's a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and our guys are
That's
busy.
the financial decision we can.
I've reached out to Kevin Brown. I'll get him to put it in paper. I can reach out to Earth Solutions, and I can reach out to Wesley Road,
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Is there somebody else?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, Jimmy,
Coombs.
James Coombs, Jimmy Coombs. I can reach out to them too, I guess.
yeah, Jonathan Abbott.
Do you know anybody knows his name?
I don't have his name.
Yeah. Or just put it out there, hey, anyone interested? Yeah, throw it out.
Well,
All right, let's settle that. Or do we need to make a motion or anything for the bids or quotes?
no, I just wanted to get, I just
Okay.
wanted
All
to
right,
talk.
Just wanna make sure.
I just wanted to talk to you guys and make sure this is a new development, and I want you guys to know what's going on.
I appreciate it.
All right, so, it's a long conversation, I'm sorry, guys. So next thing that we're gonna talk about is satellite, collection, Sasco stickers. We're down to 300,
I think there's about 300. I think it's about 300, she said.
we're down to sheets, 300 sheets.
300 sheets, yeah.
So, she would have to be ordering stickers. So, I would like to bring up the fact that we're putting in this this scale system. As long as this scale system's in place, it will never work with a satellite, any of our satellites. The satellites are also a big issue with IDM. People continue to dump outside of times, which is a violation, and it's a $10,000 fine to the county. I have driven, just so I can give you information, I have driven from each satellite position, the furthest one being Finley. That's 11 miles from the satellite to the transfer station. The other two, amazingly enough, Lexington and Stacy's is 8 miles. If we close the satellites, that does not mean that nobody will be there and can take the trash. It just means we are done contracting it out. That means if somebody wants to sit out there with a pickup truck and trailer, whatever, dump truck, whatever, and take people's trash and charge them and then bring their trash to our transfer station or any other transfer station, that's between the county residents and the person who wants to run that business. My opinion is it's time we close this. It cost us about $250,000, right?
Greg, I need those.
When you start filling away the
Sorry.
layers,
Yeah.
that's going through that.
Shoot, I'll put a more tuition budget in there. So far this year, we've collected $15,444. At the end of last year, we had $5,590 left in there. I'll give you our expenditures here in just a minute. Right now, we are $3,051 negative.
And I'm sorry, I missed the beginning. What is this in relation to the budget?
This is the Sasco, the three
Okay.
collection and the Sasco
Got it,
stickers.
okay.
Sasco's the same.
Yeah.
Sasco only pays for the transportation, the collection. It pays nothing on our disposal fees.
Gotcha.
They were originally appropriated $62,000. They've spent so far this year $24,086, and that's 61% of their budget that's left in the
Okay. And how much was originally appropriated, you said?
62,000.
Okay.
But what they've actually brought in, like I said, there was 5590 left in. It was carryover from 24, and they've received in 15,444. That won't show in the. It doesn't show in the location budget.
But it also is not showing because, see, they take their trash out there at the transfer station. The transfer station pays to get rid of that trash.
Yeah.
So it doesn't reflect on how much it's costing us to get rid of it. That's why we have to.
Parts to that.
So
If
my,
you go
I've had two people at Vine Family Award ceremony this week say they heard that we were shutting them down,
And they're tore about it.
they are upset. And so my thing right now, closing them, like looking into it a little bit more. I don't think we should close them until after we have the scales up and operational. That way,
Because he gets one to
That's, well, that's
well,
what
if we
I'm,
go that way, yeah.
wait a minute. That's why I'm bringing it up now.
Okay.
Because I don't want us to buy any more stickers at this point in time.
Okay.
We need to run those stickers out.
Yeah.
And agreed, I've been trying to time that with the scales.
Okay.
But
We've been buying.
I just, and I understand,
And I think it's.
people
630.
want us to have,
Look there real
put
quick.
that service on, but again,
I looked at this, but I can't remember.
somebody can sit out there and collect that trash.
Yeah, it's, especially with the IDM fines of 10,000, and we don't have the money for it. Like, I understand the risk versus reward in this
Yeah.
scenario.
Well, I mean, we cannot, and another thing is, okay, so we're selling these stickers. This is how bad this thing is working. We sell these stickers for $1.50 a bag.
$650 for 1,000.
650.
When you break down the numbers, which I have, and what we are, and we've always said we just want to charge what it costs us to get rid of it, right? And then 30% on top of that in order to keep the lights and the people paid.
Yeah.
All right, so 30% just gets us broken even. Okay, even given that bag of trash that they're paying $1.50 to get rid of has to weigh 30 pounds before we're not breaking even. This scale is going to make everybody's cost go down. And the reason it's going to do that is because now everybody will have to pay.
Yeah, everyone's the same rate, yeah.
That's how
Right.
much is
No,
left
I
in
agree.
there. Of
That's
the-
how it was in my hometown.
And-
when I was a kid, yeah.
But right now, I just want to go on record in front of the camera and let everybody
That's only
know.
the stickers and his
Just because
contract. And
while we
what
keep the
maintenance
satellite
is done to
places
the
open,
satellite.
anything that happens, and I'm going to say, and I'm going to
He
just,
does not pay 1 penny on the.
so the guy that we contract
Where's that at?
to do this,
That's
his
all
truck
the
leaks hydraulic
station.
fluid.
Do we have that?
That is an IDM violation.
Yeah. I can get it for you.
The county is responsible
Just a few minutes.
for that violation because he is our
I
contractor.
can get, we had a. thing
When people
that
drop their
was
trash off.
operated for disposal.
And nobody is
We're
there.
gonna use all that. But we have to-
With us keeping this satellite position open and contracting it out. Now, we have a $10,000 violation against us for people doing that.
So the transfer station.
I know you know.
Yeah, I'm trying, yeah.
Out of the transfer station.
and-
This is only the stickers.
Okay.
With the upcoming scales
I will.
and what rolls through there at nighttime
I'll get to
when nobody's there
tonight.
Before I leave.
Okay.
is going to make everybody else's cost go up. As long as, because I'll be honest with you, I've been out there and I've got pictures I can show you, bags and bags and bags of trash that's been thrown into this dumpster after, that got thrown in at nighttime by our satellite locations. They don't have no stickers on them, guys. It's not getting checked.
Yeah, the only thing we can do is just build a big fence and
Yeah.
keep 'em- keep
Well,
'em
no,
from
I mean, that's
chipping
coming from the
bags up over
satellite.
to- I know, that's what I'm saying. They're
Yeah.
dumping them out there and we don't have,
So,
other than a
and-
camera, that's all we,
I know there's people that wants this satellite thing open, you know, because they don't want to drive that far. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is get a hold of your neighbor, get a hold of your buddies. You guys can advertise it. There's a position that somebody needs to, if you want to pay somebody $1.50 a bag to throw your trash in the back of their truck, do it. That doesn't mean that the county has to provide this service. That somebody can get paid. That's a job that a business somebody can start. But we don't need to do it, and we don't need to be responsible for the fines.
it's a lot. I mean,
It is.
I mean, that's,
And we're gonna have to make some really tough choices going forward after last night. A lot of things will probably be on the chopping block. And I don't say that lightly. It makes me physically sick to say that.
Well,
there's,
this-
I mean, there's services we may not be able to provide, and this may be one of them. I don't know. I'll just tell you, Randy, I hear you, and what you're saying is all true, but I'm not willing to take any action on it tonight, personally. I still want to look at some numbers and weigh it out. My goal, I mean, you know, it's a service, and if we can,
The
if we
satellites?
can, yeah. So if we can stay close with that service,
I don't know how.
I want to be able to continue.
I don't
to
know how
offer
it
that.
runs with the scales.
I don't know, but that's something we need to continue to talk about. I'm just not, I wouldn't be willing to take a vote or action on it tonight.
Well, it's coming up. We're going to have to.
Yeah, and this talking about it gets us some ideas that we can brainstorm,
Right.
figure some things out, or whatnot. But I'm with Greg. Like, I thank you for bringing it up. Like, with people coming to me was like the scales and everything. I know it's going to change everything, and the fines and whatnot. We just, you know, there's a lot of things we got to figure out.
At the end of the day, it does mean a lot to the folks, that use those services that we have. And so if we're going to take them from them, I want to make sure that they see what we see. I want to make sure that they see the numbers. I want to make sure that they understand the cost. I want to make sure they understand with some of the new challenges that we will face with some of the new laws that's been implemented, not only in Scott County, but in the entire state,
Yeah.
that folks are, everywhere is going to be dealing with weighing out what's critical maybe for their community. So we may have no choice, but until then, I want to be able to accumulate as much information as we can, show taxpayers, this is what it's costing, this is the reality of it. This is not just something we're telling you, this is the reality of it. And post that up. I want to be able to share that, whether it's whatever platform or have those numbers if anybody wants to come into Jennifer's office and she can have them out front and folks can look at it. I just want to be able to offer that because people do rely on that service. And I understand for most people it's not a big deal, but for a lot of folks it is a big deal to take their trash 11 miles.
Well, I mean, I could, if you guys are all right with it, I could reach out and talk to Finley Firehouse and see if they want to put a truck out there and take people's trash. That way the county's out of it. And that way they can make some money. Finley always needs money.
Well, I would say you could ask them,
Sure,
but
I mean,
if they wanted to, cool. It's just a lot of what ifs right now, right? And trying
That's
to
the way
make
I
a game
look
plan.
at it.
Yeah, there's so many variables that we're gonna have to, maybe a special meeting with council too, to see if they're on board with, funding or Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about defunding it.
Well, no, I meant with like the transfer station and, you know, the cost and the prices and everything.
We may have no choice anyway.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
Well, as far as money that goes, yeah, for the satellite. Putting the scales in place saves the county $250,000 a year. That's what,
Yeah.
you know, because it makes it where it doesn't cost the county $250,000.
Yeah.
And we're to the point where we can't, as far as renovations or what we're doing, where that money comes from, we've spent, you know, we've done pretty good at affording that. Is everything done? No. Where could we get the money to finish that? That's a line transfer. They've already put money
What?
back for Ecotech.
Oh, okay. All right. I was confused.
Yeah, so when we go to the council, that's, to finish the project, it will be a line transfer. It's not really a new appropriation of funds. It's funds they've already set aside for a line transfer.
So to finish the project, you talking about the transfer station scales?
Yeah.
So so I'm tracking, maybe I misunderstood. You're wanting to do away with the satellite collection, take the remaining balance of that budget or the allocated money, and then use it toward the transfer station. Is that what you're asking?
No,
Okay, all right. I thought that's what I just wanted to make sure.
no, that is just to get rid of the collection sites and
Okay, all right. I
to
was
quit
totally off
paying,
base, I'm
because we
sorry.
pay out what she was saying earlier.
Okay,
We
cool.
pay
I
out.
just want to make sure.
And then we're also taking in that trash, which is making it cost us more money to get rid of that trash.
Okay, cool. I was writing down notes and so
Yeah.
I misheard. I apologize.
Yeah, you're good. So, anyway, so can we put that on the agenda? You guys care if we put this on the agenda for the next meeting?
We just table it and put it.
Yeah.
Because because they're, like I said, they're gonna have to order stickers soon.
I would table it.
Yeah. Make a motion to table. Upon
I
further
mean-
research and everything.
yeah, because, you know, the sheets, you know, we're only, you said 1,000 stickers for $650.
Or it's 1,000 sheets for $650.
1,000
Yeah.
sheets, so, I mean, it's not,
Well,
I wouldn't say
the other issue
the stickers are the dire,
The other issue you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
is when the scales are in place and people are coming out there. The sticker is $1.50. If their bag of trash only weighs 10 pounds, because let's face it, 30 pounds in one bag for trash is a lot.
When's the
So you're
scale supposed to be
basically
done?
overcharging everybody that you're giving them a $1.50 sticker.
When's the scale supposed to be done?
The scale should be in the end of this month, which we're almost there, or the beginning of June.
Okay.
So we're down to the last 2 weeks.
And just for guesstimation here, do you know the estimated or guesstimated numbers for how many sheets are sold a week?
I could find out. We roughly sell, we order them twice a year. So let's say that we order 2,000 sheets a year. I couldn't tell you how many a week, but I mean, I'm thinking,
Yeah, I was just trying to-
that's, yeah.
Timing wise as well.
Because like Walmart and them
Yeah, they also
purchase the
sell.
sheets, so
Yeah.
they don't have no idea.
Yeah,
And like Leroy's, we do, I mean, we could, you know, take 2,000 divided by 50 would be,
yeah.
38.
yeah. Now, will that vary a lot from one week to
Oh, yeah,
another?
yeah, oh, yeah,
but,
it would always, yeah, depending on, holidays or birthdays, you know, whatever. So, yeah, we should be all right.
So did you want to table this?
Yeah, I made a
Can you make
motion.
Well,
Yeah. I'll
let's
say,
table it to the next meeting. But I'm sorry to be a stickler, but we need to put that on the agenda for the next meeting. But, guys, I'm not, if we're not gonna close it, then I need you guys to come up with a solution on how we're gonna keep it open and run it with these scales. Because I'm telling you right now, I beat my brains out on it. And if we don't, then we just wasted every bit of our money putting in scales.
I'll do some research.
I mean, if somebody was policing the situation out there and we was actually getting the $1.50 for every bag that we're taking in, it would be one thing. But guys, I can sit here, I can show you pictures of bags and bags and bags of trash. Nobody's watching. So, okay, moving on. Awning quotes.
I want you. That's when you sent me on.
Yeah, we need the other one too, from last meeting.
From the last meeting?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Anyway, she's gonna print that off, so.
Who's that from?
The awning guy,
Oh, up the ceiling.
yeah, so this,
That was on the email.
this here, is a revised estimate, because they had 2 awnings on corrections, one on the front, one on the side. So we don't need the one on the side.
No.
So it looks like this estimate here is just saying, they're gonna remove and dispose of 2 existing pipe frame awnings, fabricate and install 1 new custom fabricated welded aluminum frame awnings with customer choice of color cover. Frame is wedge shaped with 8-inch valance and is 5 inches by 31 feet and 6 inches wide by 44 inches projection, whatever that means. But and the quote includes all labor and material. And so for all of that is $7,320.69.
And we're gonna get this money from Eric's maintenance line?
If it's there, or we'll have to, I guess, find Venture. Thank you.
Or we just said, I guess we just give this to council and let them decide.
I mean, I think that would be best. They may have something that we don't know about. And of course, the other estimate, I assume, is still good here. This is the same kind of deal. This one's for the 911 in front of it. It's same work. Remove and dispose of existing pipe frame awning. Fabricate and install a new custom fabricated welded aluminum frame awning with customer choice of color cover. Frame is wedge shape. This one is actually a little smaller. 8-inch valance and a 5 foot high by 20 foot, 6 inch wide, 44 foot projection. A little smaller cover, $4,788.21. I did reach out, and I know we talked last time about can we use the same frames and everything that's up there. They said no. They said the pipe frames that are up there, a lot of them are bent, and said to you, and a lot of the hardware is either bad or would need replaced anyway, and it's more, they'd have to install more grommets,
Grommets.
yeah, which he said all of it together doing that would be more labor intensive than just put up new hardware, new pipe frames, and go that route. So that made sense to me. Those has been up there a long time.
Yeah. And they look pretty tattered right now.
They're rough, and I'm sure the frames are bent all to pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's.
I know community corrections really hits me up over the awning, and so I would make a motion to approve it. and send it to council, see if they can find funding.
I'm gonna second that.
I'll make that unanimous.
So I would just say
It's-
contingent upon sufficient
Funds.
Yeah.
funds and or appropriation by council.
Yeah, but I mean, we can pass it, and they, goes to them, they gotta do what they gotta do, right?
Yeah.
And it's an eyesore.
It is. Auditor's office window quote. We've all discussed this, and we don't think you need a window.
Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't leak, so I'm fine.
Point in fact, you ain't got one, do you?
Well, I mean, it's just kind of cosmetic, because it's behind the wall. The question that
I'd
Eric
say
has-
we probably need to do something about it.
Well, there's kind of a question with it. If you looked when it's sent out, there's an $80 difference. There's two quotes. Option one has surface 2 and 3 tempered, and then option 2 only has surface 2 tempered. Option 1 is $1,257. Option 2 is $1,177. The thing that Eric Sexton asked me, and I have no idea, is with the double layering, if it will look different than the other windows if you go back to a single tint on there, basically. So I don't know for $80 if you want to take the chance it'll look the same or not.
I want it to look the same.
That was his question, and I have no idea.
We want it to match, so.
Well, and then being ground level with the extra temper too, and rocks being thrown up, or someone walking by hitting it, or, you
Yeah.
know, kids throwing ice cream at it.
Well, and I don't know, there is like a gate and a grate, and there was a rock on that grate when he came and got me and showed it to me. And he had mowed that afternoon, but I'd been at my desk all day, so I would have heard if it hit. I have no idea
Yeah.
if somebody,
Well,
and I don't know how
Yeah.
long it's been broken,
Yeah, yeah,
so.
yeah, but no,
I mean, okay, even if Eric,
well, I wasn't assigning blame or anything.
no, I know,
I
but I mean,
don't
even
think
if
that was the
Eric
case.
did hit a rock and it did hit the window.
It wasn't
you know,
intentional.
It wasn't
Oh, yeah.
intentional, and you know, he would have been a talented feller if it was intentional, because I tell you what, to throw rocks into open
know it.
chute and wait for it to come out, it's the right window.
Yeah, you definitely know.
So,
He's a hell of a mower.
yeah, yeah. All right.
So do you wanna move to accept the, two surface for the 1257, or?
I'll make a motion to go with the Surface 2 and 3 tempered installed at 1257. And that's from Scottsburg Glass.
All right, I got, you need to see this.
No, it was on the email, I got it.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're good. So we got one motion
Oh, I'll second.
for $1,257 for Scottsburg Glass. Did you second that?
Yeah, I second, yeah.
And then I'll make that unanimous.
What was the price one more time, I'm sorry?
$1,257. Okay, next item up for business here is Southern Indiana Works.
So they emailed us as a board, or he did once or twice, and then just happened to go through. I didn't see anyone might have replied to him one off, but I didn't see that. So I called him, and he said Mike was on the board beforehand, and that there was no replacement. And so he was wanting to know if we could get on the agenda to see if one of us would be appointed to cover. It's like 5 or 6 meetings a year, I think, not even that. And so I told him that I would be willing to assist if no one else was available or wanted to take on that additional hat. So it's whatever y'all feel is best.
If you want to do it, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So I make a motion to put
Yeah,
Adam on there.
and I'll second that motion.
Make it unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, floodplain administrator.
You know what, I've got some paperwork in there, give me a second. I found something today. I have not ever gotten hold of anybody from IDM on that, but I did found some papers from the one before.
Go ahead and move to the cemetery board.
Yeah, let's go to the cemetery board update. Anybody have an update for the cemetery board? I think that's general.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But, let's move to photo ID for county purchases vendor letter. Is that,
The letter would be.
did you make the letter up for us for the?
Yes, and Zach has a resolution as well. Here's the letter. Oh, I think that was the resolution, correct? Was that what
I
that was
believe
for?
so. It was fairly short.
That is a short one.
It's just an amendment to, I mean, it's effectively an amendment to our purchasing methods.
This number is 2025-R-5.
5.
Alright. This is required photo identification for purchases made in the name of the county. Whereas pursuant to IC 2-13, Scott County Government Body, and under IC 36-2-2-2, the Board of Commissioners and the County Executive of Scott County. Whereas the Board of Commissioners is authorized to set the purchasing rules for the county and for authorization purchasing agents. Whereas in order to ensure proper purchasing methods, accounting, and purchases, the Board of Commissioners desire to require that purchasing agents of the county provide a photo ID for purchases made in the name of the county. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Scott County, Indiana. Number 1, the Board of Commissioners of Scott County resolves to require purchasing agents to provide photo ID to vendors and to document the act of providing the photo identification prior to purchasing items, equipment, or services in the name of the Scott County. Number 2, this resolution is effective upon passage, signing, and recording by the presiding officer in respective of executive fiscal bodies of the county. Adopted by the Board of Commissioners of Scott County, Indiana, this blank day of blank blank blank. All right.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Great.
I'll second.
All right, and I'll make that unanimous. Thank you, guys. Do we gotta do yays and nays on this? Is that?
I think it's 3 in favor, right?
It was.
Yep. You just put, 3 ayes.
Yes. I'm sorry. All right, floodplain, go back to that, floodplain administrator.
That's the paperwork from back in 23.
Are we gonna just assign somebody?
Did anyone show any interest or?
Well, I mean, it does require some work,
Some training involved for
some
sure.
training.
And computer.
There's,
skills.
I mean, it's gonna be additional work to whoever does it. Kevin Hall said he'd be happy to do it, but he deserves to be compensated extra for this if he is doing it. I think if, I think we need to send it to council, in my opinion, and see if they're gonna fund it. And if not, then, I don't know.
When's the next
What we're gonna
council
do.
meeting?
June 10th.
And this was supposed to be filled, or on the books by June 1, right?
It probably says in that letter.
I thought it was like a precedent.
When's their
I'm
next
thinking it
meeting?
was
Well, this
sometime
was-
in June.
This is dated the
That's
2023.
23, yeah. I think there might have been, I didn't look back through it when I found it.
I did a quick search on that.
Oh, yeah, June 30th.
Is it okay if I do a quick search on that position?
It's June 30th of 25.
June 30th.
Yeah. But they have to, we've got to, it says here, per legislation passed and SEA 242, after June 30th of 2025, an individual may not serve as the floodplain administrator of a county or a municipality unless the individual has successfully completed one of the following options. And, one of the following options is the Certified Floodplain Manager Program. And then there's also the FEMA training course for the local floodplain managers. And under that, there's a couple options as well. So, we've about got to get somebody on there pretty quickly, it looks like, to get them going. And I certainly wouldn't ask Kevin to do that without any additional pay, because there's some work that has to be done here.
It says here, the City of Columbus has someone, according to the interwebs. City of Columbus, Bartholomew County has someone dedicated to that in 40,000 to 58,000. City of Elkhart looks like it has their planning commission or their director of area planning that's on it, and their salary ranges between 65 and 78. But just from what I see online, Bartholomew County has their own person. Elkhart has their area planning director doing it. And then it also says legislative changes from June 30, 2025. So that's about all I can get from.
I mean,
But
it's
either way,
a
like
lot of work. I mean,
any of that doesn't match any of the job descriptions we currently have for
No.
people, so.
and
It's certainly
it's
additional
something
work.
we're required to do. So,
Yeah.
And I think there's some skill level that probably,
and Kevin makes sense
yeah.
to go with it because he's already out there every day and he's dealing with these floodplains, and I mean, and he agrees to that. But again, it is quite substantial, the amount of work that it's going to add. There's no way we can add that to him without.
He has to be compensated for it.
Yeah.
So in that line of questioning, what would be a fair compensation for him? So that way we can send it to council and be like, hey, this is an idea we have. Do your own research or look up.
That's already been done.
Oh, has it?
That was done during the last budget cycle.
Oh, okay.
They
Never mind. I
requested
apologize.
a
then.
$20,000 increase
No,
fund.
they did not appropriate, they did not do that.
Gotcha. And, oh, go.
Here's what I would suggest, is send it to them again.
Yeah. And beating a dead horse, like, don't know what we got to compensate him. But we send it to him, see, you know. Because I agree, that a lot of work from looking online, and he needs some. But what do we have? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't want to make a suggestion because we, like you just said, we don't know what we have. I guess let the council throw it out there, and if Kevin wants to accept it, he can. And if he doesn't, we're nowhere.
Jennifer, you want to pick it up?
Yeah, I can take that. And what we can, I mean, I don't know. No, I don't want to do that job, no.
She'll pick the paper up.
I'll pick the paper up. I don't know if it's possible, if there's people out there you could contract with. I don't even know if that's possible.
Yeah, well, that's worth a Google search right there.
Well, if Kevin don't want it, then that's what we'll do. Because I mean, honestly, if we're going to give anybody any money, I'd rather give it to one of our employees.
Maybe, I could ask. She's close to retirement.
All right, so the next item, we're back to cemetery board update.
Okay, I've got a question on that. I've only spoken to one, that was Joe Gibson. I thought he was on the cemetery board. He said he is not. He said he was on there for a short time to help him out, but he's no longer on there. He only takes care of the Lexington Cemetery.
Does he want to get on there?
No. No, he's very clear about that. He said he just did not have time to do a good job. He knows, and I know, that John Lisenby's interested, but my question is John Lisenby allowed to be on there and still be on the council?
Is it a lucrative
What?
position?
It is
I
a
don't
paid
know.
position.
The cemetery board?
Mm-hmm. Is it a lucrative?
I believe it is.
If it's paid, then yeah, it's considered lucrative.
Joe Gibson seemed to think that they got paid like maybe $30 for a meeting or something. I don't know that, and really,
John's out, man.
that's what I was gonna say, that's kind of,
I think we've got quite a few people. I've had a couple of people reach out to me.
oh,
Jonathan Abbott is one. I mean, and of course Jonathan's got a lot of equipment. I mean, he's the guy that you want on that board
Yeah.
for sure. And I've had a couple of others, but
Yeah, I'd be good with,
I would say, so
Sorry.
I'm not exactly sure, the ordinance that or the revised kind of reinstatement of the board that I think I put together in 2024. I don't know that we ever took action on it, right? Because we didn't have people to appoint.
I don't think we did.
right, we
I
did.
don't think we did.
So I would suggest there's I have a template that was prepared for this purpose of doing the board appointments. I think that what we need to do, my recollection is we need to have a slate of 5 individuals. And those can be pre-existing members, new members. We're just gonna re-slate and reinstitute, all 5 members pursuant to the terms of this ordinance. Wow, I gotta find it.
and according, while he's looking that up.
You want to be on the cemetery board?
There is no direct wording from DNR that says they have to be an employee of the county or contract. LaPorte County currently has the president of the commissioner board as a floodplain administrator. Steuben has their area planning, or ours would be Missy Sadler. But it also says there are a few counties that do contract out, but it doesn't give me any name of the contracting or the person, individual, or whatever. So.
I don't know.
So, it was just-
I think that's going to be a sticky situation for John. But I don't know anybody who wants to do it.
Cemetery board?
Yeah,
I've had 3 people reach out to me about the cemetery board.
they want to do it.
Yeah,
Well,
We
so
have to have a slate of 5 altogether
I guess.
5 appointments, I mean,
at one time.
And there's still 2 names I've heard, but I did not have contact information, was Jerry Hartman and Bill Hoagland.
I
I know neither one of them.
I know Bill.
Bill?
Well, he's, you know,
Yeah, I know who he is,
Yeah.
yeah. But I didn't have a
Uh,
phone number for him.
and he's definitely, you know, a respectful person
Oh,
of
absolutely.
the
He knows a little bit
position.
about cemeteries. Just a little bit.
So, and he
Yeah,
said
so-
he wants to do it.
No, I don't know. He
No,
was
she
he
didn't.
was on the board.
He was on there at one time.
He was
Oh.
and Jerry Hartman.
Oh,
you got
I thought
2.
you.
I think those 2 were on there now. I don't know if they. I don't know when's the last time they met. And then John Abbott. I don't think they've met since I've been in office, quite frankly.
Send Mr. Hoagland a message.
I'm going to resend Jennifer you this
Okay.
this resolution. Sorry, I thought it was an ordinance.
Do you need that printed?
If you would.
I mean,
So who do you have that wants to do it?
here's the 3 I've had reach out to me are Jonathan Abbott, Jeremy Meadows, and James Coomer. Or Coomer, I'm sorry, James Coomer. Those are the three folks that have reached out to me with interest on this cemetery board.
James Abbott's on it now, though, she said.
Who?
James Abbott?
I don't
Didn't
know
you say James Abbott?
I said Jonathan Abbott,
Oh,
Jeremy Meadows, and James Coomer. Those are the 3 people that's reached out to me for interest on
Jeremy
this.
Meadows would be a good one. He's a grave digger.
Yeah, he said that they do some work out at, he does work out there at Pioneer Cemetery.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he'd certainly be a good one.
So I'll make a motion to put Jeremy on there.
How many more spots do we have here?
What, 5 total?
And we don't know if,
We don't know how many we got.
I'm not sure if of course, all the names that were on there that's been, I'm sure that the terms of their service have long surpassed there. I mean, we've not kept up with the cemetery board or
Well, then
struggled with it since
let's-
I've been on this board, so.
let's throw Jeremy Meadows and Jonathan Abbott both on there.
Then I just sent Mr. Hoagland a message, which I don't know how often he checks his phone. Oh, let's type it back right now. Alright.
Well, looks like it will still work. So there's a location to place the members' names
Oh, cool.
with their terms ending
Mr. Hoagland says, yes, he would most definitely like to serve on the board.
and staggered, and you guys can go
How many
ahead.
positions we trying to fill?
5.
5.
We're trying to fill, okay, we got 3.
Okay.
So we
Now,
got,
do those have to be districts?
Well, if we take James on, we've got 4.
Do those have to be
Bill,
districts like the
James,
sewer
Jeremy,
board
John.
was?
okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot that.
No, I
Okay.
don't believe so.
So let's put them 4 on there. I'll make a motion to put those 4 on there. How's that? I'm not saying that right.
I'll second.
Well,
To add Bill Hoagland, James Coomer, Jeremy Meadows, and Jonathan Abbott. And we're still 1 short, but
Does there need to be an elected official, commissioner? or
I'll second
councilwoman?
that.
Don't believe so.
If it's paid, I mean,
Oh, no,
we
we
couldn't
can't.
be on there.
No, I think only one of them people get paid on that.
Yeah, I believe it's only the employee. I didn't think that these were paid positions.
Now, that's what it looked like in the past. Mr. Robbins that passed away, he had been the one who had been paid to be on there, and he went around and did like inspections. He was the one that turned the invoices in and things like
Well,
that.
you might ask John if he wants
So
to be
if
on
that's the
there.
case, I was gonna say, if you had one employee,
Then-
could you?
then there's your
We
5.
We give them a board and let them decide.
Well, they would have to make their own offices, yeah,
I
so.
was gonna say,
Right? Let them vote on who's gonna get paid.
Members of the County Cemetery Commission shall be appointed for a term of 5 years. The Board of County Commissioners shall stagger the terms, permit the appointment, require 1 commission member per year. Okay, so that's the cemetery.
Be interested in setting it up to be staggered, start fresh, but we'll figure that out.
Well, we've had to do that in the past, and that's why it is staggered that way.
Oh, gotcha, okay. Thought we just waited a second.
So it looks like under section 5, the cemetery caretaker looks like it's a potentially a paid position, but I don't see anything that indicates that the board itself like receives a per diem or anything like that. No, I don't see. They can levy taxes apparently. Wouldn't be bad to have a council member on there if that's the case. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything that this is a paid position.
okay,
I don't.
Well, that helps.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the cemetery caretaker that's appointed by the board, I believe, would be.
So now, would that be part of that 5?
No,
No, okay, so they'll have to appoint a 6th person, or another person.
well, we already employ somebody, I think, to do.
To mow?
That's the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Cochran? Daryl Cochran? Or is he part-time still at the highway department?
No, I forget his name.
I can't think of it either, and I've been told,
No, I just,
I had to say.
and
Can you read my writing?
told Mr. Hoagland that you may be reaching out to him with more information. Is that,
Well, I don't have his information, but if you want to send it to me, I will.
okay. If there was someone else from the board that would be the point of contact.
Okay,
Do you have
We
a-
still need one more,
we
right?
still need one more.
Hang on, he's texted me back. John Lisenby.
Alright.
There we
As
go.
long
We
as-
got
as long as he's
5.
not being paid,
I'm
right?
sure John will do it.
You
That
can
was
do
Zach
it.
saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's not
I don't
paid.
see, I don't see anything that indicates that it's a paid position.
Okay.
Good deal. That handles that. We already made a motion.
Yeah. Well.
We didn't do,
Let's just do it again.
yeah.
So. Can I name all these names and do one motion and pass it off?
Yeah.
Or we have
That's
to read
member
every
1, James Coomer, member 2, Bill Hoagland, Jeremy Meadows, member 3. Member 4 is John Abbott, member 5 is John Lisenby. The expiration terms are staggered for members 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Member 1 term ends December 31st, 2025. Member 2 term ends December 31st, 2026. Member 3 term ends December 31st, 2027. Member 4 term ends December 31st, 2028. Member 5 term ends December 31st, 2029.
All right. So if I can have a motion to put these gentlemen on the cemetery board, James Coomer, Bill Hoagland, Jeremy Meadows, John Abbott, and John Lisby.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Take that from me, will you? Here. Take
Maybe it's some
it.
color.
Okay, so we're moving on. Consideration of regular special invoices.
You have no regular invoices, you got a special one here that came over from the Visitors Commission. This guy, I think, is possibly from Louisville. He was gonna be in town, asked if he could pick his check up. It's for $16,900 for baseball renovation. There's signatures at the bottom of the invoice indicating the Visitors Commission approval.
Baseball renovations?
So this is Visitors Commission has
And it comes out of the
coming out of their fund.
innkeeper's tax.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Then I'll make that unanimous.
I would like to see some pictures.
I'll pass it to you.
I'd like to see some pictures of what was done and renovated.
Well,
I'll reach out to Chris.
And I'll say
Yeah,
it.
I'm just curious, yeah, what all was done.
where do you want me to sign it?
Is there a line at the, well, yeah, just anywhere there on the bottom.
Yeah, here, I'm sorry.
I don't think we,
No, it should just be.
You wanted to see it, didn't you?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Oh.
No, if it comes from the innkeeper's tax and there's nothing we need to do, then
Yeah.
it's their money, they're.
I thought you wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Consideration, payroll, March 21st through 2025 through April 4th, 2025.
Hey guys, there's 2 sets of forms here, so you need to sign at both stickers.
I make a motion to approve the payroll claim.
I'll second.
I'll make that unanimous. Mr. Prince.
Two spots, damn it.
Consideration of minutes. Everybody had a chance to read minutes.
Approve the minutes. Motion to approve.
I've got a motion on the table to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
And a second, and I'll make that unanimous. Legal counsel, do you have anything?
I do not have anything to say.
Thanks.
Auditor, do you have anything? Any comments?
I had a lady that stopped in today. She is with Sam's Club. Wanted to talk to our employees about offering them discounts on their cards and such as that. Didn't know if that was something you would want her to come back to the next commissioner meeting and present to you, or.
What is it again? She's offered
It's Sam's
Walmart.
Club's. It's the Sam's
Oh.
Club cards and things.
Yeah.
They've got a discount program, and at this point, like,
How much is
Credit
it?
card or?
And what's it
membership
cost?
card?
I think it could be any of those. The membership, and then it can go up. There's almost like 3 levels.
Is there a cost to us?
I think I'd
There's-
like time to look at that.
Look at that. Okay. I'm gonna say that's the only thing I've got.
But that, there's a cost to us for,
Not to us.
No, but
There's
I
not.
still need to look at it.
It's
Yeah.
to, yeah.
Okay.
It's something to be offered to the employees.
all right. Well, you have anything back there? You're sitting there awful quiet.
You guys doing a fine job.
All right, well then, with that, I'm gonna ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
I'll make that unanimous.